PG, LCC, and Macomb. Pandora Gilboa is home for Lipsick. LCC will host Ayersville, and then Macomb is home for USV. Moving up to Division 6, Region 22, Columbus Grove and Bluffton, the 1 and 2 seeds. Grove just beat Bluffton for the NWC title last week. They're heavy favorites to meet for the regional crown in a few weeks. Tonight, Grove hosts Lakota and Bluffton hosts Paulding. As for Division 6, another team to look out for is Versailles out of the MAC. They are in Region 24. They host Troy Christian. 8 of the 10 schools in the Midwest Athletic Conference made the playoffs, including Coldwater in Division 5. They host Indian Lake. 6 of 8 teams, by the way, out of the Northwest Conference are in. Western Buckeye League, 7 of their 10 teams made it, including Region 12, Division 3, Wapakoneta and Salina, the co-champs, home for New Richmond and Hillsboro. Second ever home playoff game coming up for Lima Senior after winning the Toledo City League in their first year in the league. Lima Senior will host Xenia, and Findlay, coming off its first 8-win season since 2012, will be home for Olentangy Liberty. And that's a look at the playoff situation in and around Lima. My name's Todd Walker reporting from 1150 WIMA.
And as we wrap things up, let's check out how things look in the opening round in Central Ohio. From WPNS Radio, here's Ryan Baker.
66 teams in Central Ohio spanning 10 regions made the postseason this year. Central Ohio has number 1 seeds in regions 2, 3, and 11 as Olentangy, Gahanna, and Bishop Watterson hold the top spots. Gahanna, the defending region champion in region 3, lost to eventual state champion Lakewood St. Ed's in the state semis last year. The other defending regional champion is Bloom Carroll in Region 11. The Bulldogs, who lost to Canfield in the state title game, are the number 5 seed in an absolutely loaded region. There are a couple of opening round rematches in Regions 2 and 3. In Region 2, top-seeded Olentangy hosts the 6-team Dublin Jerome. The Braves won that one 35-20 in Week 9. Also in Week 9, the number 2 seed Olentangy Berlin beat 15th-seeded Marysville 34-14. In Region 3, top-seeded Gahanna beat Reynoldsburg 49-6 in Week 4, and the number 3 seed Pickerington North beat 14th-seeded Westerville Central 16-14 in Week number 6. For high school football overtime on 97.1 The Fan, I'm Ryan Baker.
Gentlemen, thank all of you for your efforts and your reports, and that will do it for this week's look at the first-round playoff reports from across the state of Ohio. Let's step aside for a few messages from the OHSAA, and when we come back, we'll wrap up this edition of the OHSAA Football Playoff Preview Show.
Hi, I'm Anthony Munoz. I didn't make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame by letting drugs and alcohol affect my ability to play. I brought my A game every time, and that's what you should do when sharing the road. That means never getting behind the wheel under the influence and wearing your seatbelt, because it's always the best defense against a drunk driver. So whether you're driving around town or to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, never let impaired driving take you out of the game.
This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety.
School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The game is over, but this time, instead of asking how many goals did you score or what were your stats, try asking these questions. Were you a good teammate? Were you coachable? Did you give 100%? And did you have fun? Because those are the values that school sports instill in Ohio's young people, where winning and losing are secondary to the life lessons that will stay with kids long after their playing days are over. This is the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Educate through sports.
You practice hard, you play hard, you're always reaching for your goals. You reach for the next point, the next yard, the next win. And after the game, reach for low-fat chocolate milk. It has the fluids to rehydrate you, the right mix of protein and carbs to refuel you, and the vitamins and minerals to help you build strong bones and bodies. Fuel up with chocolate milk. For more information, visit drink-milk.com.
Before we wrap up this week's show, the statewide playoff brackets, a reminder, are available on the OHSAA website at ohsaa.org, along with football playoff histories of every school in Ohio. Looking ahead to the state championships, all session tickets are on sale at ohsaa.org/tickets, including a special ticket package with indoor access to the Stadium Club at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium during and after every game. In our next playoff preview show, we'll go inside the regional quarterfinal pairings and talk with OHSAA Executive Director Doug Hute. On behalf of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, I'm Marty Bannister. Production facilities and assistance provided by Yamo Media and Adam Dell. The OHSAA Football Playoff Preview Show has been a production.
Please stand by for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network on the Live 365 Network and the Live 365 app. Western Reserve Radio and AM 600 WRQX, The Patriot, are proud to bring you Springfield Tigers football in the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week. And now, with tonight's call, here's Jim Craven and the coach, Bob Gessler.
And we welcome you to Twinsburg High School here in Summit County as Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240 are proud to bring you Division 5 Region 17 playoff matchup as the South Range Raiders make their way up from Mahoning County to take on the Perry Pirates, making the trip from Ashtabula. Hello, everyone. Jim Craven with you, along with the coach, Bob Gessler. I'm going to get you ready for the next 25 minutes with the Cleveland Cobras pregame show here as we get ready for this exciting rematch of 2022 in which the South Range Raiders ended up with a 41-14 win. And, of course, if you know the story, they went on to win the Division 5 state championship, making their appearance at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. I want to thank Jerry Sandrock and Jesse Caldwell and all of our outstanding sponsors, as well as the athletic departments from South Range and Perry for helping with this week's production. Take a look at scores from across the iMedia One network last week as the Youngstown Phantoms, they head out to Dubuque, and they split a set with the Fighting Saints. The Phantoms get the 5-4 shootout win on Friday night. They lose the Saturday tilt by a score of 4-1. The Phantoms will head to Chicago Saturday and Sunday this week to take on the Steel. Over on City View Sportscast, of course, Mineral Ridge and Mogador got together, and Mogador gets the 21-7 win over Mineral Ridge. That would send Mineral Ridge home for the year. South Range, they took on Clearview last week. No problem, slow start, but they 21 win over Clearview to make it here this week. Saturday on Western Reserve Radio, I want to remind you, after the Saturday morning sports page with Pat Lucci and Dave Clark, Grove City Wolverines take on the Susquehanna Riverhawks in the NCAA Division III playoffs from Salinas Grove, PA. Both teams are 10-0. Grove City, the champs of the PAC, and Susquehanna, the landmark conference champions. Pregame will be approximately 11:20. Kickoff will be at 12 o'clock. Of course, you can hear all of that right here on Western Reserve Radio with Mark Means and the professor, Ryan Briggs. Of course, Dave Ferris will be engineering that game coming up tomorrow. And again, that's going to be a historic appearance for Grove City, their first time in the Division III playoffs. And we hope that Coach DiDonato and crew there have a nice trip today, get there tonight, rest up, and be ready for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Nice and big and strong.
We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. When we come back, we will start with South Range. We'll talk a little bit about their season, the rematch this year with Perry. And also, we'll end up going to the Malutic Live Coaches Corner as our own Mark Means had the opportunity to speak with South Range coach Dave Rock. We'll hear what he had to say about last week's game and tonight's matchup. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week and the Cleveland Cobras pregame show here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leagues. For more information, call 330-740-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240. Back here on the Cleveland Cobras pregame show here from Twinsburg, Ohio, as we get ready for the Division 5 Region 17 playoff game between the South Range Raiders. They are 12-1. They will be taking on the Perry Pirates, coming in at a perfect 13-0. South Range losing their first regular season game this year in quite some time. And, Coach, you got to take a look at some of the guys that are coming back this year, guys that have stepped up. You look at Tristan Toy, their quarterback, 83 of 145 for 1262, 10 touchdowns, although we see 11 interceptions in there. So there's a propensity for turnovers. And tonight we do have some rain here, a little bit maybe adverse weather. Maybe that's a concern, but they're going to have to be safe with the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to be very, very careful. It's starting to get a little cool out there, too, so the hands are going to get a little bit hard. So, and the football is going to get hard. So throwing the ball today might be a little bit tough. But with his rushing yards, I think they'll do just fine.
Take a look at their running game. Blake Hewart coming in with 1,934 yards, 21 touchdowns. He's averaging 8.45 yards a carry, Coach. And we talked about the backs during the season that have had those averages. And that's a lot of offensive time where you're not seeing a third down.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Well, that's what you want as a coach. You want your team to get into those second and short, third and short. So then that way you're not throwing the ball. So if you get a good first and second down, then you should be in good shape as far as driving down the field and eating the clock, because that's another big thing is, keeping control of the clock, keeping the ball out of your opponent's hands.
Well, you look at the flip side here for the Perry Pirates. Jaden Studio averaging 101 yards a game. Again, his average is up here. So it seems like defensively for both teams, whoever is going to be able to put the other team in a third down situation is going to have the advantage. It seems that it's going to be that simple.
Yeah, and again, that's what you want to do. You want to put your opponent in third and long, make them throw the ball, especially on a day like this. So that's exactly what you want. So it's going to be a chess game on what they do as far as offensively as well as defensively.
Yeah, through the air, we'll also be keeping an eye on Brady Crumbacher, the receiver for the South Range Raiders. 32 receptions this year for 540 yards. He's responsible for 7 touchdowns, but another big average here. He's averaging nearly 17 yards a catch and over 41 yards a game receiving. But again, so many tools, so many weapons on that offense. They move them around here. You add in Aiden Dominguez, who for the most part plays at the wing. You will see him do some things here. But again, we're talking about two backs here. And if you look at the numbers, they're really these two teams are well matched.
And then Dominguez's name a few years ago, when we did their opener as well as state game, there seems to be a plenty of Dominguez's coming out of the South Range. So, I mean, good solid kid. So this is going to be interesting against Perry. And, we already know Perry's a quality football team.
Our own Mark Means had the opportunity to speak with South Range head coach Dave Rock this week, and this is what he had to say about tonight's matchup with the Perry Pirates on the Malutic Live Coaches Corner.
Back inside the Malutic Live Coaches Corner with the head coach of the South Range Raiders. Head coach, you look back at last week's win over Clearview, 48-21. Kind of take me back to the game and how it played out.
I think it took us a minute to get settled in. They came out and made some plays early, I thought, and we knew going into the game they had some dangerous skill guys and that they were going to do some things defensively that were designed to create some problems for us. So I think it took us, a minute as a team to get acclimated, but we played hard in the first half and were able to keep ourselves in the lead going into halftime. I think we went in 14-13 and then came out in the second half, and I thought we really got settled in nice and kind of took control of the game there first couple possessions of the third quarter. But just a really, really good overall team effort, I think, in all three phases for us.
Coach, when you go back and you talk about that game at halftime, was it more of a X's and O's adjustment that you made, or was it more of maybe an attitude adjustment? Because you came out pretty physical running the ball downhill in the third quarter.
You know what? I don't know that we changed a whole lot in terms of X's and O's, and I don't think. A lot of times, you hear like the narrative, well, we were sleepwalking or, whatever in the first half. And I don't buy that. Our kids played their tails off, for 48 minutes. I just think, sometimes when you're playing a team that you're unfamiliar with, the way Clearview was for us, it takes you a minute to really get adjusted to the speed and to the physicality and the style of play. They were a little bit different than what we have seen previously. And I think, just getting a breath at halftime and allowed us the opportunity to kind of, discuss with the kids like, hey, they're doing this. We can, we need to change the way we're going about trying to block them and maybe change the way we're, even I think trying to run the ball. I think a lot of it was just trying to remain patient and finish yards and maximize carries rather than trying to go to the house, every play.
When you look at that matchup, it seemed like they weren't a big defensive front, but they seemed to be very quick. So was that part of the adjustment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think just their quickness up front presented a lot of problems for us. A lot of things that normally we can punish teams for. They were able to not just get away with, they were able to execute at a high level, during those plays. I think they were able to jump around blocks and make some stuff happen up front just via, their movement, which is something we don't see a lot of. And to your point, they weren't real big up there, but there's something to be said about when you have, 11 guys on the field that can run and tackle. I think it's always tough just in terms, and they motored around good. I mean, they were tough in the back end. They were a good football team.
Coach, you look at this week's matchup against Perry and this exact game, a rematch from last year. Can you take anything from last year to this year, or is it a whole new year with two whole new football?
A little bit of both. I think obviously we've checked out last year's film. I'm sure they have to, kind of see what worked and what didn't work. And, I think both teams are similar enough to what they were last year in terms of style and scheme and that kind of thing. But obviously there's some differences. We're different defensively. They're different defensively. But I think on both teams, a lot of the guys that are playing, Friday night were on the field last year. Aiden Dominguez for us had a couple. I think he had a pair of touchdowns last year. Blake again, he had a couple touchdowns last year. You see Tristan run around. He gets an interception last year. So as much as we lost last year, in terms of seniors and everything else, we had a lot of big plays in this game, in the regional title game against Perry, come from kids that are still on our team, and the same thing for them. They return a lot of their skill group and a lot of their guys up front that we saw last year. So I think, we're familiar with them. They're familiar with us. And I think, both teams have kind of been maybe in the back of our minds looking forward to this one for a while.
Coach, how do you slow down Walter Moses at quarterback for them?
I think you got to, I don't know that you slow him down, a ton. I think you got to keep the ball in front of you and you got to make great tackles. And then, he's very good with his legs. I think you got to try to make him one-dimensional in one way or the other. Either you have to take away some of the throw game or you have to take away, the run game with him, one way or the other. And, you hope you can make him uncomfortable. It's not overly feasible to sack him a ton because he does such a good job of reading coverage and getting the ball out. But, I do think you have to do, whatever it takes in terms of moving him off the spot and making him a little bit uncomfortable. And then, obviously they have great skill guys around him too. So part of it, I think, is trying to minimize the reps and getting their guys on the ground when they get the ball in space, so they don't have any extra possessions or any extra plays, because obviously we've seen, just in the films that we have, when you give them extra possessions and extra free downs, they're going to make you pay.
Finally, Coach, what's a key to move on into the next round of the state semifinals and get a win this week?
Oh, more of the same, man. We got to run the football. We have to stop the run game, limit explosives as a defense. Then we have to play great special teams. They've been really explosive in the special teams department. And this time of the year, it's really hard to overcome, errors, especially scores. But any errors on the special teams, we have to win the kicking game, and then again, try to possess the ball more than they do, and try to play our best football in all three phases.
Coach, best of luck and thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Malutic Live is your home for high school sports. We have all the scores on our social media platforms throughout the games. Enjoy our timely updates from local area schools year-round. You won't get the consistency and reliability from anyone else. Our number one priority is servicing our fans and getting them live news as it's happening. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Malutic_live. And remember, our fans come first.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leagues. For more information, call 330-740-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
Cleveland Cobras pregame show continues here from Twinsburg High School as the South Range Raiders 12-1 get ready to take on the Perry Pirates 13-0. Want to thank Austin Malutic and Malutic Live for their support of the Coach's Corner. Malutic Live, your home for high school sports. Follow them on social media at Malutic_live. And Coach, we take a look now at the Perry Pirates. They took on Garrettsville Garfield last week. The G-men always like to say that. They get the 42-14 win. And when you look at some of these the teams by quarters, Coach, almost identical. Almost 9 points for South Range, 14 in the first quarter. But you see a drop off third and fourth quarter. That tells me they haven't had to play a full game. They've gotten a lot of opportunity to get the young guys in because they've had pretty much blowout games, Coach. Let's be honest. The Perry Pirates, with at least 9 games where they've only given up 7 points or less.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting game. If you look at size-wise, if you look at scoring-wise, I mean, they're almost matched even. So this is going to be a real interesting game. Now, again, as you say, Perry hasn't really gone a full game just because of the scores and things. So this will be very interesting and see how South Range lines up and gets it done.
Yeah, and certainly they have been dominant all year long. 504 points scored by Perry, only 85 given up. Again, 9 games with allowed 7 points or less. So for South Range, while they've had the big strike offense, these long drives are going to be probably better in their favor.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's why I think they're going to control the line of scrimmage and control the ball, because they got to keep it out of Perry's hands. And that's going to be the key to their offense. I think it was funny, Jim, because when we started out our season with Springfield against South Range, there were some questions. And you presented that question to me, and I said, give me 2 series to see exactly if they skipped a beat. And South Range never skipped a beat. They've continued to do what they needed to do.
And you bring that up, Coach, and you talk about South Range and the changeover in terms of coaching and graduation, but the program has stayed the same. When I went back and watched the film of last year, you look at that South Range offense, it's still pretty much the same thing. But the thing with South Range is they execute well, and you have to stop it even if you know what's coming.
Well, I heard so much about Mr. Troy and Toy, and realized this kid, his name, you see it mentioned a lot. He's a great football player, and so again, this is you putting the ball in his hands. He's a good leader, and he's done a magnificent job. And here's the best thing: he's only a junior.
Yeah, certainly 10 touchdowns on the season for Tristan Toy, and also 11 interception, Coach, and that could be a concern for the South Range Raiders. Now, there has been some rain here today. Not raining at this time. Surface is still wet, but with the humidity and the moisture in the air, something they obviously have to keep cognizant of.
Yeah, and I really think that you're going to see more of a running offense by both, although I'm sure that they're going to test the waters and pull the trigger on it. But I really think that you're going to see a lot of running tonight. Again, I could be wrong, but I think that's what's going to be ball control.
Take a look at the starting lineups for both teams tonight here. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff here on what has become a cool night here in Twinsburg. We are under 50 degrees now. Probably here, I would say, in the upper 40s right now, but around 42 degrees. But again, the moisture makes it feel a little bit cooler than that. Take a look at the Perry Pirates defensively for them. They run a 3-3-5 defense, Coach, here. So under them 3 up front are going to be Chuck Thomas, Andrew Smith, and Trent Taylor at the defensive end, nose, and defensive end. The linebackers will be Jaden Studio, Owen McComb, and Dom Lamacchia. And in the secondary, it'll be Braden Richards, Armani Chapone, Luke Savon, Vince Tomasic, and the cornerback, Walter Moses. Kicker will be Ador Antonin Lopez, Offensively for the Pirates, on that offensive line from left to right, it's going to be Chuck Thomas, Joey Baldry, Antonius Bertone, Jack Nisley, Anthony Zagraki, and the tight end will be Trent Taylor. The fullback will be Darren Howard and Owen McComb. The receivers are going to be Dane Pike. Slots will be Jimmy Ashburn and Braden Richards. They'll be joined at wide receiver by Luke Savon. The running backs, you'll see a trio of those tonight. It'll be Jaden Studio, Owen McCoon, and Braden Richards. And at quarterback, it will be the junior, Walter Moses. Moses comes in here, Coach. We covered them in as a freshman in his 9th grade year. Got to see him against West Branch at Boardman. He's got a lot of experience here. This is his 3rd year on the field varsity, and he's got not only the size but the tools.
Yeah, I'd tell you what, strong arm watching these guys warm up, and he's throwing the ball quite well. So, again, this is going to be hey, we've waited for this. And here's the other thing. Perry got beat last year, so this is going to be, we think we got him this year. So this is going to be a very interesting.
Certainly, again, South Range with the big win last year. Of course, South Range would go on to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. They would pick up the Division V state championship. Look at the offensive starters for the South Range Raiders as the Perry Pirates make their way to the field. We're going to be on the Perry side. South Range is going to be across the field as they'll make their way through the banner. Their offensive starters on the offensive line, left to right, is going to be Xander Mercer, Cam Aquesto, Andrew Bryant, Gus Valentine, and Cam Carr. The fullback will be Luke Starkey, the tight end, Heath Krause. The wide receivers will be Gavin Nagy and Brady Crumbucker. The running back will be the very good running back, Coach, will be Blake Ewart, nearly 2,000 yards on the running game this year. And he'll be led on the field by the 5'10", 175-pound junior Tristan Toy. Defensively for the South Range Raiders, up front, it'll be Tyson Seaschultz, Patrick Lally, Cam Aquesto, and Gus Valentine. The linebackers will be Aiden Dominguez. We'll keep an eye on him. Dylan Smesko, Luke Starkey. And in the secondary, it'll be Tristan Toy, Gavin Nagy, Troy Combs, and Brady Crumbucker. And you look at one of the interesting numbers that kind of caught my attention for South Range is between Starkey, Smesko, and Dominguez. They have 60 tackles for loss and 9 sacks. and that is something Perry's got to be cognizant of
Yeah,
as well.
they get after it defensively. If they don't get after that up front, watch them linebackers. Look out, baby. It could be a long night for them.
Now, certainly, both teams now lining up here on this cool night. Rain expected to taper off here in the Twinsburg area. And it is a turf field here, so Perry will be starting off on the right side. They'll be going right to left. South Range in their white jerseys, maroon pants, maroon helmets. Perry in their white helmets, red jerseys and red pants. Perry is the home team. And it's going to be Richards and Studio back to return for the Perry Pirates. And we are just seconds away from this Division 5 Region 17 playoff here. A rematch of last year, South Range with the win. Perry looking to pick up a revenge game here. This one's going to be in and out of the hands of Studio at the 5-yard line. He'll bring it out to the 10, try to work his way forward, and he may have made it to the 14-yard line. So that's where Perry is going to get the ball for the first time tonight. 11:53 here for the first quarter. We're just underway. Perry, first and 10 at their own 14.
Yeah, that was a host of defenders. They surrounded him and brought him down. He got maybe a 1 or 2 yard step, and then that was it. They brought him down. That was a good job, good coverage.
That kickoff brought to you by Repair That Glass. Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass, offering a full range of automotive glass repairs. For an appointment, call 330-534-3192. Perry now, 2 receivers to each side. As Moses in the shotgun, he'll have Studio to his left. He'll give it to Jaden Studio off the right side. He'll have to cut back. Nowhere to go, and he's going to be brought down. May have lost a yard on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 11 now for the Pirates.
That was a great job. They sent somebody. I didn't get a number on that. There was a whole bunch of people.
It looked like a lot of white jerseys.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Holy mackerel. That was a great job.
So they'll actually call this 2nd and 12.
I correct myself. That was Luke Starkey on that. Finally got his number. He finally turned where I could read it.
Luke Starkey also doubling as a fullback. Perry and 12. From their own 12-yard line, Moses in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the far side. Moses, 3-step drop, back to pass, fires out to his left. Looking for a receiver out in the flats. It's going to be a high looping pass, and it's going to be caught at the 37-yard line. That's going to be Braden Richards, the 6', 185-pound senior on the reception on the rainbow pass.
Yeah, Tristan Toy was right there, but he turned around. It was not a good pass. It hung up in the air, and the receiver had to go back and get it. But, that's how it goes. They had it almost double covered, but it falls short, and he was able to peel back and get it.
And there is a little bit of wind tonight up here in Summit County as this rain starts to move out. So trip receivers to the far side. That's going to include Fike and Moses. Moses, quick pass out to the far side. It's going to be complete and brought out to the 39. Ball's on the ground, but I think the officials are going to say that he was down. That'll bring up 2nd down now. 2nd and 8 for Perry. South Range said they had it, but the officials are going to say no. That was already down. The ball now marked at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, Dominguez was all over that. He recognized that, and then he came in through the hole, and he was able to get him. He still a short yard on that, but that's what they want to keep going.
Moses bringing in the play from the sideline. 2nd and 8 for Perry. Ball at their own 39-yard line. Trip receivers to the far side. Moses down to shotgun. Studio to his left. He'll take it himself out to the left side. Trying to get to the outside. He'll get to the 40, but he's going to be upended. And he's going to be brought down by Gavin Nagy, the cornerback, also who doubles as a wide receiver.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. He reacted on that one, and he came down really hard. He's playing safety and was able to make that.
This first quarter is brought to you by the USHL Clark Cup champions, the Youngstown Phantoms. The road to the NHL runs through Youngstown. Call 330-747-PUCKS, 747-7825. Go to youngstownphantoms.com. Moses now, trip receivers to the far side. Now he'll have Studio to his right, and South Range is going to get called for the encroachment. So instead of 3rd and 8, it's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And again, free yards you're going to give to Perry. That could come back to bite you later.
Yeah, Gus Valentine got a little bit, a little nervous, and he decided he was going to try to beat that snap. But unfortunately, he's got to watch that ball. When coach is going to have a talk with him because he's right over the center, and he needs to watch that snap. Don't listen to the quarterback.
Tight formation now. 3 backs in the backfield. Moses now under center. 3rd and 3. Handoff off the left side. And it's going to be brought out to the 50-yard line, out to the midfield stripe. With a hard run by Owen McCoon, the 6', 193-pound junior. And he was brought down by Gus Valentine, the 6'3" senior.
Yeah, Gus tried to get over there. He got caught up a little bit in the wash, but then he was able to scrape over and make the tackle. That could have been a long gain.
So 1st and 10 now for the Perry Pirates right at the midfield stripe. 8:51 left here, first quarter, no score. They'll go into the same formation, 3 backs in the backfield. Moses under center. He'll get off the right side. This will be Studio this time, past the 50. He'll fight his way down near the 47-yard line. Depending on which side you're on, looks like it could be the 47 or 48, but nonetheless, that'll be a pickup of 2 or 3 yards for the Pirates.
I was trying to get a number on that one, Jim. I just could. There was just a whole big bunch of players there. I apologize. I'm trying to do the best I can.
They'll go back to the spread offense. Moses in the shotgun. Studio to his right. 2 receivers each side. They'll take a moment to check with the coaches. Moses now checking with the sideline. Made the adjustments. Moses now, quick pass. Out to his left, going to be caught at the 50, brought out to the 40. And it's going to be broke down to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Perry. And it's going to be Braden Richards, a 6', 185-pound senior receiver. 47 yards for the touchdown, and Perry takes a 6-0 lead.
Well, I want to tell you something, Jim. He caught that ball, turned it upfield, and there was nobody going to catch him. He outran about 3 of the South Range Raiders. Very good speed by that young man.
So Perry on for the extra point. 7:59 left here, first quarter. High snap, ball on the turf, and it's going to be downed at the 16-yard line. So Perry will not convert. They will maintain the 6-0 lead over South Range. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Hey, football fans, don't miss the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey at the Cavelli Center in downtown Youngstown. The Phantoms are preparing for the upcoming season as they take to the ice to defend their Clark Cup championship. With over a dozen highly touted prospects on this year's roster, the road to the NHL clearly runs through Youngstown. Purchase season tickets, group tickets, and individual game tickets now by calling 330-747-PUCK. That's 330-747-7825 or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
Clark Cup champion!
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
7:59 left here, first quarter. Perry strikes first on a 47-yard touchdown pass. That'll be Walter Moses to Braden Richards. And Perry with the 6-0 lead did not convert on the extra point. South Range ready to get the ball for the first time tonight. And of course, all kickoffs are brought to you by Repair That Glass. Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass, offering a full range of automotive glass repairs. For an appointment, call 330-534-3192. As we'll have a brief pause here. And this is going to be a line drive down past the 30, end of the 20. Picked up by an up man from South Range. He'll get out to the 20, and that's about as far as he will go. He'll be brought down by Carter Hopkins, the freshman for Perry. And Springfield will get the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing by a score of 6-0. Coach will take a look at the officials for tonight. The center judge is going to be Brian Bednarczyk. The back judge will be Patrick Brown. The line judge, Tim Ward. The head linesman, Terry Swager. The umpire, Kirk Luttermick. And the referee will be Gartrey Bentley. South Range in a shotgun. Going to have Toy back pass, 3-step drop. Fires over in the middle. And it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Crumbacher over the middle on the post pattern, couldn't hit it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he had split. It looked like he had triple coverage, and he split it. He was open. If he gets that on a dead run, I'll tell you what, I don't know about their speed in the back, but I'll tell you what, he had about 2 or 3 yards on it.
Toy starts in his shotgun with Ewert to his right. Ewert, again, 2,000-yard rusher, just a little under 2,000. He'll come out now, 2 receivers to each side. Moving left or right on your devices, Toy in the shotgun. He'll take it himself off the right side on the read, push forward, and he'll get past the 24 down to the 25-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 now for South Range.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're getting a good push up front. Studio was there, and he was able to make that play.
Okay, I apologize. It's going to be a 4-yard gain, so 3rd and 6 now for South Range. 7:25 left here, first quarter. As Krumbacher will be the receiver to the near side. Ewart in the back in the shotgun next to Toy. Toy rolling out to the near side, trying to set his feet, fires, and almost picked off at the 35-yard line. Walter Moses had his eyes on that one, Coach, and South Range is fortunate they're going to get away with a punt in this one.
Yeah, I tell you what, they had double coverage on it. Their coverages are pretty good now. They're kind of they're doing a combo on the coverage, and he had him underneath. He broke on it. I really thought he was going to go.
So South Range will punt. They'll post up right around his 12-yard line. And a return for Perry. His return will set up right around his own 44-yard line. Again, we've had some win tonight. Good snap. High punt. This one's going to land at the 47-yard line, and it's going to take a South Range roll inside the 35. And they'll say the 35 it will be. So Perry will get the ball for the second time here in the first quarter with a lead of 6-0. And South Range not much doing on that first offensive series.
No, and I think they're just testing the water. So I'll tell you what, though, Perry, they're not big up front, but they get, I noticed the 1 and 3 technique are very low to the ground. And, I mean, they're low, and they're getting up underneath, but we're doing a good job double teaming them, but we got to get to them linebackers.
Moses is going to bring the play in from the sideline. It'll be 1st and 10, ball marked at the 35-yard line. Perry with a 6-0 lead. They score on a Moses to Richards, 47-yard touchdown pass. Twin receivers to each side now. Moses in the shotgun, Studio to his right. He'll take it out to the right side himself, trying to find room to run, and he'll be hemmed up. Flag's going to come in. 2 flags will come in, one from the center judge, one from the referee, and it's going to be the initial call is a hold coming up against Perry.
All they did was just run off tackle on that one. So
in that massive players there to that far side, we saw the holding call. And that will put him back behind the sticks. And of course, Perry on their first drive was it a 2nd and 12 situation, but they were able to pick that up on a long pass.
Yeah, this is big holding.
So the ball moved back to the 25-yard line. They'll have to get to the 45 for a first down. Moses in the shotgun, Studio to his left. Trip receivers now to the near side, as they will take a moment to check with the sideline. And Moses now resetting the offense. 6:35 left. Moses 3-step drop. Under pressure, going to step up. He's got a lot of room, but he's going to fire over the middle. That's going to be complete down to the 41-yard line. That's going to be Armani Chapone, the 5'10", 175-pound junior on the reception.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we thought when we had that, it looked pretty good as far as that defense. Seaholt looked like he would broke on it, but unfortunately he never got there, so he was able to complete it. So he got a big chunk of it back.
So 6:06 on a running clock here. South Range trails Perry by a score of 6-0. Perry now with the ball at the 41-yard line. Twin receivers to each side. Moses in the shotgun, Studio to his left. Moses rolling out to the near side, fires out into the flat. It's going to be caught at the 46-yard line. He'll be brought down instantly by Troy Combs. And again, just quick passes there, Coach. Moses setting his feet, getting it out there, and South Range having to react. It'll be a first down. They will say he didn't get it. So first down now for Perry.
Yeah, they've got to tighten up that defensive backs because he's kind of picking them apart up underneath. So we'll see exactly how this progresses. I'm sure we'll make some adjustments.
5:42 on a stop clock here. Pass out of bounds. And it'll be Studio and Moses again in the backfield. Twin receivers to each side. On the near hash mark. They'll send Richards in motion. He'll give it to him on the jet sweep. Trying to cut up. And nowhere to go. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That should bring up 2nd and 10 now for Perry.
Yeah, they did an outstanding job. They did a good job getting them down. Gus Valentine was on that, and he was able to get there, but we missed the tackle. It looked like Tristan Toy was over there.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 now for Perry. Ball at their own 46-yard line. 6-0 is your score. Pirates strike first. South Range on their first possession would have to punt. And now it'll be on Marnie Chapone, the receiver to the far side. Trip receivers to the near side. Toy rolling out. Going to hand off on the counter. That's going to be Studio past the midfield. Out to the 40, 35, 30. And he only has to beat Toy. And Toy's going to cut him down near the 10-yard line. A big run by Jaden Studio. It's going to be 1st and goal for Perry.
Yeah, that was a great run. I love the counter. They got him leaning. Then he was able to cut back and go on the outside. So I love those counters.
That's kind of been your thing here this year, Coach. Something that everybody's utilized, and it has worked.
It has worked. Counters will work. You get them leaning, you bang, 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 then you come back with that counter, and it opens it up.
Toy rolling out to the near side. Studio just coming to the backside. As now they'll go to that 3-back formation as Moses will go under center. Ball active. Handoff up the middle. They're going to fight forward and get down. Looks like to the 1-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal for Perry. They're threatening to get into the end zone for a second time in this quarter.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was it was a great job by them. Good push. Did what they had to do.
Back to the formation. And they're going to give it to Studio. Studio was upended, and he was stopped at the 1-yard line. So the South Range defense stands up. It's going to be 3rd down now. 3rd and goal for Perry.
Our defensive line has got to dig in now, but they got to be aware on that outside. I love the formation they're running. It's basically a wishbone backfield is what you were looking at, Jim.
So 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. They'll go back to that same formation. It'll be Studio and Howard as well back there. They're going to fight forward, and it's going to be another Perry touchdown. 1-yard run for the Pirates. They take a 12-0 lead over South Range.
Yeah, Walter Moses, all he did was get up underneath the center, and all they did was just stepped in, and they got a little bit of a push out of it, 1 yard. So that's all they needed. Springfield South Range has got to tighten it up here.
Trying to break us of that habit here, Coach.
Yeah, we both said it a few times.
Perry going for 2 now. Moses back to pass. Looks out to his right, stepping up. Looks like he's going to try to take himself, get to the pylon. And did he get it? And they're going to say no. So the score will remain 12-0 here as Perry has struck twice. Early in this first quarter, South Range, they got some work to do, Coach.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, they got to tighten up that defense. And Perry's running a pretty quick offense, so they're trying to get the plays in and keep South Range off balance a bit.
Now, certainly it's been all Perry here in this first quarter. We talked early in the Cleveland Cobras pregame show. I'll get it. As Perry only allowed 7 points or less in 9 of their 13 games this year, Coach. And it is tough to win a game when you're only scoring 7 points.
Yeah, it's you got to get a little bit more than that. There's no doubt.
Perry averaging just right around 39 points a game. So South Range will give it another shot here. 3:42 left here, first quarter. Perry already with a 12-0 lead here in Twinsburg. As Perry will line up again for the kickoff. Smesko back to return for South Range. He'll be the deepest man. This one again on the ground, headed over to the far hash mark, and that's going to be picked up by Nagy and brought out near the 30-yard line. We'll see where they're going to mark it officially. May have given him the 31. Not bad field position for South Range either time, but a lot of pressure coming from that Perry defense.
Yeah, that was Trent. Excuse me. It was Trent on the Trent Taylor on the tackle. They got to pick it up offensively, but be smart about it. You know, we got to run the ball a little bit. mixed pass and run. That's all they got to do.
First and 10 for South Range at their own 31-yard line. Toy now in a pistol formation. He's going to have Ewert behind him. He'll send Nagy in motion from right to left. Low snap. Toy's going to have to take it himself, trying to get past some red jerseys. A good block coming up here, and he only make it out to maybe the 32-yard line, if that. May have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. He'll go out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with just 3:31 left here first quarter.
Luke Savone on that tackle. I'll tell you what, he come flying over there to make that tackle, and it was a sure one. So we have really got a lot of speed by these Perry Pirates. I noticed that. Decent size, but boy, they quick.
So 2nd and 10, we'll call it for South Range. Toy in a shotgun. Ewert to his left. It'll be Nagy and Krumbacher, the receivers, to the near side. It'll be Dominguez at the left wing. Toy taking his time. He'll send Dominguez in motion from left to right. With the clap, he'll give the ball to Ewert. Ewert off the left side. Tries to work off the block of the left side of his line. That's going to be Studio with the tackle. We'll pick up a couple yards on that. Actually, they're going to say he's going to get, well, I'm actually going to give him credit for 5, Coach. So it'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for South Range.
That was a left foot, right foot.
Yes, sure was. And you're South Range. You'll take that one.
We'll take that one for sure. Decent push up front, but you know what? Looks like we got to run a little bit leaning. We're running a little bit up high, so we got to lean them shoulders down a bit.
Pistol formation, Toy with Ewert behind him. He'll pitch it out to Ewert. Ewert to the near side. Tried to get upfield. Moses had a shot at him, and then he would be brought down by Chuck Thomas, and he's going to be just short of a first down, Coach, maybe about 1.5 yards.
They need to run right straight at him at this point. Let's see exactly what these linebackers, where they line up. But they have a couple of quick but not very big guys up front. And my personal opinion is maybe you have to pick on that a little bit on these short yardage. You got 4th and about 1.5.
So South Range going to go for it on 4th down. It's going to be Dominguez. That quarterback is going to take it himself upfield, and he'll go nowhere. Brought down by Perry. The initial contact by Jaden Studio. And it's going to be a turnover on downs for South Range, and Perry's going to have fantastic field position.
Yeah, that was not good. They needed to maybe hard count him or go into a little bit longer count, but they went up there, snapped it. Perry come flying off that line and gave them nothing.
So 1st and 10 for Perry. They're going to have the ball at the South Range 40-yard line. 2:16 left here, first quarter. It'll be Richards and Pike, the receivers to the far side now. Moses in his shotgun. He'll give it to Studio. Studio off the right side, trying to fight forward. And he'll get past the 35 down to the 34. He'll be brought down by Nagy.
Well, they pulled the guard to trap, and it opened up where the guard came from, and he just put his foot in the dirt, and then he was able to cut back and get back in with good yardage on that one. Rain is coming down, Jim.
And we were hoping the rain was going to hold off here, but it is now. The rain coming in. If we're looking at it from where we are, it's moving left to right. But it's going to be 2nd down now for the Perry Pirates. Moses in a shotgun. Studio to his right. Twin receivers to the far side. Single receiver to the near side. They'll give it to Studio off the left side. Following the blocks, going to run into some traffic. He's going to fight his way forward near the 30-yard line, where I think we're going to get the whistle. And he had to get to the 30. I don't know if they're going to give it to him. Officials are going to take a look. They're going to say, nope, 3rd down. And I don't know, Coach, about 1/2 yard maybe.
Yep, 1/2 yard. We actually had him in the backfield. We just didn't. Luke Starkey had him in the backfield. We just couldn't get there. He ran right past him. The boy's got to break down and keep his eyes up.
I'll go back to that 3-back formation, the wishbone. It'll be Moses going to move forward. He's easily going to have the first down for the Pirates inside the 30. I believe he's going to get down to the 28-yard line. So 1st and 10 now for the Pirates, and they continue to move the ball.
Yeah, Bertona's the center on that, and he's getting one massive push. And he's just leading the way on these short yardages, and he's giving the quarterback everything that he can. They're getting these short yardages. They're getting at least 2 yards every time they go for it on third and short.
35 seconds left here, first quarter. Perry with a 12-0 lead. As we'll have receivers, 2 receivers to each side. It'll be Ashburn and Pike to the right side. Toy, quick pass to the left side, and it's going to be caught and brought down inside the 25, down to the 24. And that's going to be Luke Savon on the reception, the 6'1", 187-pound junior.
Well, that was a good job.
So an illegal block coming up against the Pirates. I didn't see the flag there, Coach, but it was thrown. And this will put him back. So if I'm not mistaken, they will be given the first down, but they will mark the penalty off. So we'll see where they're going to put it. The ball will be placed at the 38-yard line. So a little bit of relief for South Range as they get the illegal block penalty against Perry. Moses bringing the play in from the sideline. 17 seconds left here on a running clock. We'll see if they get this play off as they'll come out. Perry will come out, 3 receivers to the far side. Moses in the shotgun, single receiver to the near side. Moses on the handoff to Studio, up the middle. And again, out to the 20-yard line, just short of the 20. Another big run. He'll be brought down by Crumbacher. And again, it's kind of that counter motion again that's really setting him off.
Yeah, what they're doing is he's going left and going right and then coming back left on a handoff underneath. And then what they're doing is they're blocking right as if he's going to be running right, and they're just cutting back and getting it done.
So that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter here in Twinsburg with the Perry Pirates. They have a 12-0 lead over the South Range Raiders. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Hey, football fans, don't miss the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey at the Cavelli Center in downtown Youngstown. The Phantoms are preparing for the upcoming season as they take to the ice to defend their Clark Cup championship. With over a dozen highly touted prospects on this year's roster, the road to the NHL clearly runs through Youngstown. Purchase season tickets, group tickets, and individual game tickets now by calling 330-747-PUCK. That's 330-747-7825 or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
Clark Cup champion!
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football. We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
Perry with the carry off the left side. They'll make it inside the 20 and down to the 14-yard line. That'll be a first down for Perry. And, Coach, South Range gets the benefit of these penalties but can't capitalize on them.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're just going right through them. They've really got to shore up that defense because they're just running all over them. Perry's just getting a good head of steam. And that was Braden Richards going right up that side.
I want to thank the Youngstown Phantoms for their support and sponsorship of every first quarter here in 2023. Phantoms on the road this week in Chicago on Saturday and Sunday. Moses now in the shotgun, empty backfield, 2 receivers to the near side. Excuse me, that won't be Moses. It'll be up the field and into the end zone. Flag in on the play. Was going to be a 14-yard run by Braden Richards. Braden Richards was at the quarterback position, but a hold coming up against Perry. South Range, the beneficiary of another penalty, and we'll see if they can capitalize on this one.
Yeah, they're going to have to hold him here. That was way, way too easy. South Range has got to tighten his defense up right now.
So that will place the ball back at the 29-yard line. So it'll be first down for Perry. So 1st and 20 now for the Pirates. Moses bring the play in from the sideline. 11:19 left here second quarter. Pirates with a 12-0 lead. Pirates now moving left to right on your devices. 10 seconds left on the play clock. They'll come out trip receivers to the near side with Moses in the shotgun. Studio to his right. Moses now rolling out to the near side. Going to take it himself, tuck the ball, and get upfield past the 20, inside the 15, and down near the 11-yard line.
Cam McQuistow was there on the tackle, but just too many yards.
And Starkey on the tackle, but again, Perry back inside the sticks here. It's going to make it 2nd and 8 when you came off of a 1st and 20, Coach. And again, these are the advantages you have to take, with this. And certainly they're just not executing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the offensive line of Perry is just unfortunately outpowering the South Range defensive line.
Well, interestingly enough, Braden Richards at the quarterback position now. Twin receivers to the far side, wing to the right, so single receiver to the right. Richards now trying to find room to take it up the field himself. He'll spin off out to the left side, and he'll pick up some yards after diving forward. He'll get to the 9-yard line, and it's going to bring up about 2nd and 5 now for the Pirates.
Yeah, Crumbacher
third down.
Crumbacher had him in the backfield, but dove for the legs, and he just hopped right over him and just stomped. So I'm assuming that this will be Perry. This is going to be 2-down territory anyway.
So Moses back in at quarterback now. Luke Savon will come to the sideline. He'll take a breather. Trent Taylor will be the tight end to the left. So wishbone formation again. Moses on the handoff, off to the left side. Contact made in the backfield, but they're going to fight their way forward for a first down, and it'll be down to the 1-yard line. And a great run by Owen McCoon, the 6', 193-pound junior.
Yeah, Andrew Bryan had him in the backfield and he just missed him. They've got to get short tackles on these guys. Going up, hurry up.
So again, handoff to McCoon off the left side, fighting forward. And they're going to stay short. So just short of the goal line for Perry to bring up 2nd down now and goal. And they're right back to the line. They'll try it again off the middle, and then they will get into the end zone this time. And Perry takes an 18-0 lead here with 9:23 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, South Range up front's just getting overpowered. That, and when we get into their backfield, we have got to be able to wrap these guys up, and we're not. They're pretty wiry, and they're diving and keeping them legs going. And we're just not getting it done. We got to square up, and we got to wrap these guys up and bring them down.
So Perry now going to go for 2 again. They'll go tight formation, 2 receivers to each side. As Moses will be in a shotgun. He'll roll out to the near side, trying to find someone downfield. He'll direct traffic, fire over the middle, and it's going to be picked off by South Range. And that'll keep the score 18-0. So no good is the 2-point conversion. South Range, though, they are 3 scores down, Coach, and this is not someplace Coach Rock wanted to be.
No, you got to hang with these guys. That was that was a great play by Andrew Bryan on the extra point, but we got to do this as they're going down the field. We have got to tighten this defense up. So far, they have not had to do anything. They're going right down the field quite easily.
So that touchdown coming at 9:23 of the second quarter. Perry with an 18-0 lead. Things kind of turning here, Coach, as it was South Range playing the dominant role last year. This time, it's Perry with the 3-score lead here with just about 9:23 left in this first half.
Yeah, we've got to we've got to do sustained drives now. We've got to start getting first downs, and we can't give it up.
So Perry to kick off. They've kept these kicks low on the ground, Coach. It looks like this is going to be intentional.
Yeah, they probably saw something that they don't want. And they're afraid somebody's going to break one.
Certainly playing it smart. This one's going to be deep. It's going to head towards the goal line and over the heads of the return team of South Range into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. 9:23 left here, second quarter. And South Range will give it a shot again on offense. They've got to make some adjustments.
Yeah, they're going to have to do what they have to do. Unfortunately, they got to get a drive going here, and they can't go 3 and out. Can't keep giving this ball up. So they have to do what they have to do. Here they come.
So first and 10 from the 20-yard line. Toy in the shotgun. Ewert to his left. 2 receivers to the near side. They'll give it to Ewert. Ewert working his way up the middle. Out past the 25. He keeps driving his legs. And he'll make it down to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2 now for the South Range Raiders.
Yeah, and we're seeing some different numbers getting in there for Perry.
Perry on the rotation here as they try to keep their people fresh. 8:58 left here. As Toy now will be in the shotgun. Ewart to his left. 3 receivers to the far side. That'll be tight. That'll be Dominguez. But it's going to be Toy on the play action. He'll get the first down out to the 35-yard line. And I believe that might be South Range's first down of the night.
Yeah, they need to, and that's a good job, and that's exactly what they need to do. They have got to get in there and get it done. And that was La Mancha on the tackle, but that was a good run. Here we go. Got to get
Toy
the
in the shotgun. He's going to have Ewart to his left, 2 receivers to the near side. That's going to be Dominguez. They'll hand it off to Aiden this time, and he'll pick up a couple yards on the play to bring up 2nd and 8 for South Range. And they get right back to the run game, which has been effective. It doesn't look like they're going to panic too much.
No, absolutely not. And that's what you got to do, ball control. You've got to keep, first of all, you got to keep the ball out of their hands because obviously their offense is doing an outstanding job and getting things done. So
Crumbacker and Nagy, the receivers to the near side. Toy in the shotgun. They'll send Starkey in motion from right to left. He'll set up as the left wing. It'll be a counter handoff to Ewart. Ewart trying to fight off the right side. May have picked up a yard on the play. If that'll bring up 3rd down for South Range.
Yeah, they've got to keep ball control here. Now it's 3rd and long. Let's be smart here and do what we have to do.
So 3rd and 6 for South Range. 7:42 left here, second quarter. South Range trailing Perry by a score of 18-0. They'll send Nagy and Crumbacher, the receivers, to the near side. They'll have 2 wings. That'll be Ewart and Dominguez. 3-step drop, going to fire out there. Ball's going to be tipped. And it'll go off the hands of Dominguez, and that's going to bring up 4th down for South Range. And they're still going to need about 6 or 7 yards for the first down.
Yeah, Jim, that wasn't going anywhere because Braden Richards was right on that. If he would have even caught that ball, he'd have probably been dropped anyway. So 10-150 the other, incomplete pass, no loss in the yardage because he would have had a loss of probably at least 3 on that.
South Range for the punt. Perry will set up right around their own 35-yard line. High snap, they'll get it down. It'll be a high punt. They'll let it go. It'll head to the sideline, past the 30, the 25, inside the 25. And it'll be down near the 21-yard line. That's where Perry will take over with 7:13 left here in the second quarter. The Pirates with an 18-0 lead over the defending 5 state champions.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. They've done their homework here at Perry. A very strong football team. This is a very good football team. A lot of speed, a lot of size, and I think South Range wasn't quite ready for maybe the size and the speed, but they got to start moving the ball more consistently offensively for them.
7:13 left here, second quarter. Pirates 18, South Range 0. Perry now coming out with 1 receiver to the near side to make that 2. Moses is in a shotgun. He'll be running back to each side. Moses with the handoff. They're going to set and pass downfield. It's going to be a halfback pass. Got a receiver open at the 40. Cutting back to the inside. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. And I believe that's going to be Luke Savon, the 6'1", 187-pound junior, on the 79-yard touchdown pass. And Perry extends their lead to 24-0.
Yeah, unfortunately, they bet on that because he thought it was going to be a run. You got to stay disciplined in the back and goes the deepest is the deepest man. And unfortunately, let him get about 3 yards behind him, and then the ball was right there. 1 move, and he was in the end zone.
7 minutes left here as Perry will now try to kick the extra point. Snap is back. Kick is up. And it is good. So with 7 minutes left here in the second quarter, Perry extends their lead to a score of 25-0. We're going to step aside for a timeout. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leagues. For more information, call 330-740-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you. We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
7 minutes left here in this second quarter. Perry with a 25-0 lead over South Range. It has been the Pirates up and down the field in every way you can think of, Coach.
Yeah, it's they haven't been stopped yet. This is just playing backyard football, unfortunately. We have got to do a better job with this.
South Range looking to put something together here, as Dylan Smesko will be the deep guy for South Range. He'll let this one go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and South Range will get the ball again, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And at this point, Coach, what changes can you make? You're down 25 points here. You got 7 minutes left in the second quarter. There's a long way to go, but against the Perry team, it's going to be hard to dig out of that hole.
Well, what they're going to have to, and what I would try to run is maybe some more screens. Get those guys to bite on it, get that quarterback drifted. Maybe do some screens because they're just coming straight at them. Maybe a little bit more stuff on the outside, quick stuff, little curl-ins.
So Toy in the shotgun. He's going to hand up to Ewart off the wing. Try to fall forward for a yard or two, and Perry shutting that down. They'll give him, I believe, credit for the yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Well, actually going to say 2, so 2nd and 8 for South Range.
And we're getting a lot of bigger numbers in there now.
Coach, Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. Ursuline and Chardon going at it, all tied up at 7 in the second quarter.
They're going to have a hard time there, too. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Twin receivers on the near side. Toy in the shotgun. He'll give it to Ewart. Ewart trying to work off to the right side. And he'll work his way past the 25 down to the 26-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down, and let's just call it 4, Coach, for South Range.
Yep. They have got to just keep digging, keep doing what they got to do. That was Braden Richards on the tackle.
We've said his name more than once tonight. As it'll be Crumbacher and Nagy, the receivers to the far side. Dominguez now into the left of Toy in the shotgun. Send a man in motion. It'll be Nagy. It's going to be Toy. It's going to keep the ball himself off the left side past the 30 and down to the 34-yard line. That's enough for a South Range 1st down. And, Coach, that's where it starts. One play at a time,
Yep.
1 1st down at a time.
Yep, and that was Braden Richards again. He's actually playing safety on that, and he's just reading that run, and he's coming up and filling like crazy.
5:43 left here, second quarter. South Range looking to get on the board here. Toy will be in the shotgun. Single receiver to the near side. He'll hand it off right up the middle. That's going to be Dominguez. He'll pick up a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 for South Range. Ball now at the 36-yard line.
Andrew Smith was all over that. He penetrated, got heel depth, and then he scraped down, was able to make that play and bring him down. So that was a good job by that young man because he could have overran that play very easily, and he stayed his ground. Well coached.
Crumbacher and Nagy to the far side again. Trip receivers to the near side. They'll be tight. Toy with the handoff to Dominguez. That'll be Toy that'll keep it himself. He'll get out to the 45. 46, he'll drive his legs all the way down to the 49-yard line. That's going to be another South Range 1st down. 4:55 left.
And I just want to tell you, Braden Richards so far must have 20 tackles in this game. He is playing safety, and he's coming up and making those plays. That is a fast-reading young man.
Right after this play, we'll give you a Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update as Crumbacher and Nagy will be the receivers to the near side. It'll go wing right, Toy in the shotgun. They'll send Starkey in motion from right to left. They'll give it to Dominguez. Dominguez off the right side to run into his own player, but he'll fight his way forward. Past midfield down to the 45 and inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. And now it seems like South Range has a little bit of rhythm going.
Yeah, that was a good job. Braden Richards on the tackle. And he's making solo tackles, Jim. I mean, he's reading this thing, and he's just coming up.
4:10 left here, second quarter. Crumbacher and Nagy will be the receivers to the near side again. Toy in the shotgun. He'll give it to Dominguez. Dominguez fight his way forward. And he'll be close to the 1st down, and we'll see if they're going to give it to him. Ball's going to be marked near the 41. And they're going to say, I believe, is he short or are they going to give it to him? The down marker and the line to gain marker are the same, but nope. They're going to say just short. We're going to get a timeout here.
No, they gave it to him, Jim.
Okay.
Lineman on this side said, yeah, you got it.
Okay, it was interesting because the down marker and the line to gain were at the same spot.
Yeah.
So, again, it's going to be Toy in the shotgun. He'll keep it off the left side, past the 40. And he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Another pickup of 3. Coach, Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. Canton South 14, Struthers nothing. Chardon takes a 14-7 lead over Ursuline. And if you are interested over on the on the PA side, Sharon and Hickory going at it. Sharon with a 6-0 lead. So 2nd and 6 now for South Range. Their best drive of the night here so far. They're going to be at the Perry 37-yard line. Toy in the shotgun. Wing to the right. They'll send Nagy in motion from left to right. Toy will keep it himself, try to fight forward. Nowhere to go on that. It'll bring up 3rd down. No gain on the play.
There was a host, but your first one that was had him by the legs was Chuck Thomas for Perry, and he's doing a great job up front. He's getting off his block. And again, what I noticed about these defensive linemen, they're getting heel depth, and then they're getting in and squeezing. So they're not over pursuing where South Range is able to hit it up underneath them.
We're approaching 3 minutes left here in this first half. Perry with a 25-0 lead. South Range looking for their first points of the night, 3rd and 7. He'll pitch it out to the right side. He'll get past the 35, inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 3.
Braden Richards had him by the ankles.
So 4th down for South Range. 4th and, we'll call it 3 on this, Coach. And South Range really, with 2:35 left in the half, has no choice but to go for it.
Absolutely. They've got to do something to keep that safety from coming in the backfield. They've got to sneak somebody over the top.
So South Range will take a timeout. We'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Hey, football fans, don't miss the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey at the Cavelli Center in downtown Youngstown. The Phantoms are preparing for the upcoming season as they take to the ice to defend their Clark Cup championship. With over a dozen highly touted prospects on this year's roster, the road to the NHL clearly runs through Youngstown. Purchase season tickets, group tickets, and individual game tickets now by calling 330-747-PUCK. That's 330-747-7825 or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
Clark Cup champion!
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
2:28 left here in this half. Perry with a 25-0 lead over South Range. South Range with their best drive of the night. But they're going to be in a 4th and 3 situation. Ball at the 33-yard line. They're going to have to get to the 30. For the first down, it'll be Toy in the shotgun. They'll go wing left, single receiver to the near side. Toy with the handoff out to the left side. Going to fall forward. I believe that was going to be Dominguez on the carry. And we'll see if they're going to give it to him. As we wait, they'll build a little bit of anticipation. And they're going to say first down. Took them a little while to call it, Coach, but South Range will continue. 1st and 10 now, ball at the 31-yard line. It'll be Starkey, the wing to the right. Twin receivers to the near side. Toy with the handoff to Dominguez. Dominguez up the middle. He'll fight his way forward, drive his legs, get past the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for South Range.
Yeah, there was a host of people on that in red all over that. There was about 3 guys hanging off all over them, but they have got to go down. There's a minute 44 and running. We've got to go down there, and we've got to get some points on this.
So 2nd and 7 now for South Range. They'll send Starkey in motion from right to left. They'll hand it off to Dominguez on the counter. He'll fight his way forward, past the 25, down to the 24-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and a little more manageable for South Range this time. And again, their best drive of the night here. 1:14 left here in the second quarter. South Range trails by a score of 25-0.
Yeah, Chuck Thomas had a good penetration on that, but unfortunately, Meninga just ran right through his tackle, so that was a good job. Now they're putting a lot of people in the backfield. DBs.
Toy in the shotgun. They'll send Starkey in motion from right to left. Twin receivers to the near side. Toy will take it himself. Cut up the middle. Off the left side there, and he's going to be brought down. And it looks like Owen McCoon on the tackle. And it's going to bring up another fourth down situation for South Range with just about 40 seconds left here in this half. And South Range is going to take another timeout. We'll keep it right here, Coach, as we look at some of these scores from around the area. 3 games that we're interested in tonight, as Struthers now gets on the board. They trail Canton South by a score of 14-7. Chardon leads Ursuline 14-7. And in Pennsylvania, Hickory and Sharon all tied up at 6 now. So no easy pass for any team tonight, Coach.
Right. I'll tell you what, Struthers got their hands full, but if they can keep up with them and within a touchdown or 2, then Struthers actually has a chance at this.
And that really has been their calling card all year long. You go back to week 10 with the overtime loss to Poland, but then a couple weeks later, they come out and get the win over the Bulldogs. But they keep the games close. They gave South Range a really tough game here early in the 2023 season. So I think at that point you started to see that Struthers had some ability, so to speak.
And according to my brother David, who coaches at Poland, says Struthers is going to be loaded next year because they have hardly any seniors on that team. They lose about maybe 1 or 2 off the starters, and they're going to be loaded up front.
So treasure trove of talent for Struthers as Toy now will go into the shotgun. He'll running back to his right, twin receivers to the near side. He'll give it off the left side, pitch it back to Nagy. Nagy back to Toy. Toy trying to find some room to set his feet, and he'll fire it into the sideline, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. 32 seconds left in this half, and South Range with the trick play can't pull it off, and Perry will get the ball with just about a half a minute left.
When he pitched it back to Toy, personally, he should have just taken off because I think they had the edge on that side. But when he pulled off and slowed down, that's when the DBs in the end came up on him. He didn't have enough time to throw. But I think he should have taken off. He might have been able to get there.
So Braden Richards, the receiver to the near side in twins formation, 2x2. Moses in the shotgun. Studio will be the running back to his left. Going to be 1st and 10 now for Perry. Ball marked at the 24-yard line. We're going to have a delay here. And they're going to say it's intentional grounding. A loss of down against South Range, and I really don't think that's going to be very consequential other than the yards here. With 32 seconds left, they'll move the ball up to the 40-yard line. No, make it past the 40. Not sure about this one. Our officials have left the booth here, but they're going to put the ball at the 44-yard line with a half a minute left.
Well, first of all, he was out of the pocket, and second of all, he threw it beyond the line. Now, I don't know if that what rules are now, but I don't know about high school.
Well, no receiver in the area for him, but Moses now in the shotgun. Receivers 2x2. Studio in the backfield. To the left is Moses now will take a second. He'll change the play at the line. Moses, quick pass out to Richards, out at the 40. He'll work his way to the 45. And be knocked out of bounds on the other side of the field at the 48-yard line. Clock will stop with 27 seconds left. Perry doesn't look like they're going to be content to just take a knee on this one.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Why should they? You got the ball on about the 48-yard line. I'm going. Got nothing to lose here. You're already up by the scores that you are. And I just take it to the house and try to get another set of points, even if it's a field goal.
Richards will be the receiver to the far side, along with Armani Chapone. Trip receivers now to the far side. Now is Moses. Will bark some orders over there. He'll be in the shotgun. He'll take a moment again. Check with the coaching staff. 27 seconds left. Clock stopped. As Moses now with the handoff to Studio. Studio up the middle. Past the 40, 35, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Perry with 18 seconds left here in this first half. A 48-yard touchdown run by Jaden Studio. And Perry now leads by a score of 31-0 going into the half.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, all that was a straight handoff up the middle. Up front, they probably, what I just saw was they looked like they fan blocked that, got to the linebackers, and boom.
So 18 seconds left here in this half. Perry extends their lead to 31-0, and we have a delay here. I don't know what's going on. Officials were speaking, so an unsportsmanlike coming up against Perry. The touchdown will count. They'll enforce it on the kickoff. So with 18 seconds left.
Maybe a little sidelines interference with the official. I don't know. Is that what a call is when you do
It's
that?
unsportsmanlike, so
okay.
Could have been excessive celebration. Could have maybe said something that you wouldn't say to your mom. So,
okay.
So Lopez now on for the kick for Perry. Snap is back. Kick is up. And it is good. So 18 seconds left here in this half. Perry extends their lead now to 32-0 over the South Range Raiders. And it's been a long time since we've seen a Raiders team have to fight their way out of a hole this deep.
Well, this is a good Perry football team. And I'll tell you what, size, strength, speed. And again, as much as I respect South Range, this just isn't their game, as we'll say. We have a whole second half, so we don't know what can happen out of that. But Perry is a very, very good football team. And I'll tell you what, you could look for them really coming down the stretch. I know we have another half of football to go, but I'll tell you right now, this team is loaded in speed and size.
And it has been the yards after contact that has been impressive for Perry. They don't go down on the first hit or the first tackle attempt. And Perry is everything so far that we thought they would be when you looked at the numbers.
Yeah, and then the thing that I noticed also is you're having safeties coming up and making plays in the backfield. I mean, there's no threat of our running or our passing game, so they're just sending a house, and that safety's coming. The last time I seen a safety do that, there was a gentleman that played for Cheney. His name was Mike Zordage Sr., and that's what he used to do. My brother would play with him, and he would come flying up making plays in the backfield.
There you go, name dropping again, showing off.
Mike was a heck of a player. Got to see him this year.
Lopez to kick off for Perry. He'll kick off from his own 25. This one is going to end up towards the sideline. They'll let it go out, and we'll get the flag on the play for the illegal procedure. And South Range with just 18 seconds left here in this half, looking to just about do anything, Coach, to get on the board.
Well, at this point in time, I would just probably take a knee, go into the locker room and regroup and get on that board and see what changes we could make and see what the guys with the eyes up here are able to do for them as far as second half. But there's got to be a lot of adjustments made.
Coming up at halftime, we'll give you a scoring recap, talk about some games from around the area. Only 3 teams from our area left in the playoffs. We'll also talk about the Division III NCAA football playoffs as the Grove City Wolverines will head down to Salinesport, Pennsylvania, and they will take on the Susquehanna Riverhawks. Both teams 10-0, both of them conference champs, and Grove City for the first time in history in the playoffs.
There you go.
Under head coach Andy DiDonato, and he's done such an outstanding job there.
Why is it that a lot of Pennsylvania teams are on the port or
ports
on
or
the
groves
river
or something like
rivers?
No, that's where you want to be. You want to be near the water, right?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so they're going to reset this ball at the 20-yard line. South Range is going to make them re-kick with 18 seconds left here in this half. South Range trailing Perry by a score of 32-0. Of course, we want to remind you, coming up tomorrow night also on Western Reserve Radio, the Youngstown Phantoms will be in Chicago. We will carry that game as well. Compliments of the Chicago Steel. Tune in to Mark Cintron with all of his interesting analysis. We love Mark. And Lopez to kick this one from his 20. This ball will end up at the 25-yard line. And to be picked up, brought up to the 25, 30, 40, and all the way out to the 47-yard line. I believe that's going to be Dylan Smesko on the return, the 6', 200-pound junior.
I'll tell you what, though, they had it blocked nice. If he would have hit that hole a little bit quicker, I think he would have broke it because they had a V formation, and he hit the center of that V, and he was wide open. So that was a good return, and that was a good job by the special teams.
So 12 seconds left here in this half. South Range, ball at the 47-yard line on their side of the field. So 53 yards to go before they can get the end zone. And I don't know, maybe if you go in with a touchdown, it makes you feel a little bit better, but you're down 32-0. That's a lot to come back from.
Yeah, and at this point in time, do not make a mistake.
Crombacher or Nagy, the twin receivers to the far side. Toy in the shotgun. He'll give it off the left side. Past the 50, down inside the 50, and down to the 47-yard line. And that's going to be Ewart on the carry. Clock will stop with 5 seconds here. South Range will take their final timeout. Let's see if they take a shot downfield here. It'll actually mark the ball at the 46 of Perry. And if you're Coach Rock, this has got to be a tough halftime going in there. It's just not much has worked for you. And, it's probably a little late in the season to start making those kind of adjustments.
Well, but you still got to try to make as many adjustments as you can. But, when you got as many weapons as that, sometimes you go to that board and you sit and after you've met with your coaching staff and, you kind of just look there with big eyes. But you're the coach. You got to pick them up and get them to believe that, hey, you got a whole second half. It doesn't matter. I mean, I hate to say it, but look what the Cleveland Browns did. I mean, there was a team that came back from a very bad deficit.
Boy, you had to bring up that source.
Well, that's all right.
Love my Brownies. That's all I can
exactly.
say. And good news this week is the voice of the Browns, Jim Donovan, will be back. We're excited about that. Toy in the shotgun. Ewart to his left. He'll give it to Ewart just off the right side. He'll pick up a few yards here. It'll be enough for a first down. But that will bring us to the end of the first half here in Twinsburg in this Division 5 Region 17 game. The Perry Pirates, they'll go in the locker room with a 32-0 lead over the South Range Raiders. We're going to step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you a scoring recap. We'll give you some scores from around the area, and we'll talk a little bit of NCAA Division III playoff football, all that and much more coming up here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We are back right after this.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leagues. For more information, call 330-740-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240. Halftime here at Twinsburg High School in Summit County. Perry Pirates with a 32-0 lead over the South Range Raiders. It has been all Perry here in these first two quarters. It started at 7:59 of the first quarter. Perry would go 47 yards on a touchdown pass. It would be Moses to Braden Richards to get the Pirates on the board by a score of 6-0. At 3:42 of the first quarter, Walter Moses would take a 1-yard run and get into the end zone. That would put up the Perry Pirates by a score of 12-0. They would convert on neither two-point conversion in the first quarter. Second quarter action, 9:23. Perry would get into the end zone again on another 1-yard run. The two-point conversion would be no good. And at 7 minutes, Perry would go 79 yards. It would be Luke Savon on the pass. It was a trick play there, Coach.
Yep.
As a halfback pass would get out to Savon. He would get into the end zone, and they would extend that lead. And with 18 seconds left, it would be a 48-yard run by Jaden Studio to put the Perry Pirates ahead by a score of 32-0. Coach, again, it's kind of, I would say, shocking, as again, you expected this to be a closer game, but the roles reversed from last year where South Range was in the same position. And Perry, I have not really seen a weakness from them yet.
No, I'll tell you what, they are so balanced and they look so amazing. They're a good football team. Again, as I stressed, decent size, strength. So they've done an outstanding job.
Yeah, we talked about the yards after contact, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Either one, nobody has gone from Perry has gone down on the initial contact, and that really has cost South Range.
And I'll tell you what, you could see the difference. Again, the speed is so much better. They look real sharp on it. But again, taking nothing away from South Range. I mean, they've been here. They've done this. And they've done this to other teams. So, again, they got to come back second half, try to make some changes, but they've got to move the ball and try to hold them. If Perry scores a couple more times, then unfortunately it's party's over.
I want to thank you for joining us here on the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Sports Radio 1240 WBBW Youngstown, Ohio, a Cumulus media station. And we'll take a look at the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update from around the area. 3 schools still in the hunt here in the playoffs from our area. But right now, it's Canton South 21-7 over the Struthers Wildcats. Chardon leads Ursuline by a score of 14-7. And in Pennsylvania, Hickory leads Sharon by a score of 7-6. And Struthers now at the half behind 2 scores. And that's going to be tough for them to come from behind. Again, they have played tough. They're not out of it, but again, at this point in time, when you're this many weeks into the playoffs, it gets a little harder to do that.
Yeah, you got to hang with these football teams when you start the playoffs, and as we all know, you get behind, down 2 scores. It's not impossible, but again, the problem lies is, are you going to have enough momentum to carry you through 3 quarters? You've got to then tighten up your defense and stop them, because if you don't and they score again, it's again, as I say, party's over.
So halftime here in Twinsburg, South Range Raiders marching band out entertaining the home side here as the Raiders trail by a score of 32-0. Want to remind you, after the Saturday morning sports page with Pat Lucci and Dave Clark, the Grove City Wolverines will take on the Susquehanna Riverhawks in NCAA Division III playoff action from Salinas Grove, Pennsylvania. Both teams 10-0. Grove City, the PAC champions. Susquehanna is the Landmark Conference champions. And pregame will start approximately 11:20. Kickoff is scheduled for 12 o'clock with Mark Means and the Professor Ryan Briggs. Dave Ferris will be engineering that game. You can catch that right here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia One network. We're going to step aside for another break. When we come back, a special interviewer, as our own Mark Means had the opportunity to speak with the Professor Ryan Briggs about tomorrow's NCAA Division III matchup between Grove City and Susquehanna. All that and much more coming up here on the Halftime Show. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Malutic Live is your home for high school sports. We have all the scores on our social media platforms throughout the games. Enjoy our timely updates from local area schools year-round. You won't get the consistency and reliability from anyone else. Our number one priority is servicing our fans and getting them live news as it's happening. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Malutic_Live. And remember, our fans come first. happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leads. For more information, call 330-740-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
The sports information director at Grove City College, my partner for the games on the road. And boy, we have talked a lot on this show this year, but it has been a historic season for the Grove City football program.
Oh, it certainly has, Mark. First off, thanks for the invitation. As always good to catch up with you. Yeah, you think of a program that's been playing football since 1892, that there would not be too many milestones left to achieve, but the Wolverines have certainly done a lot of those, most recently finishing off a 10-0 season, first 10-win season in program history, and qualifying for the NCAA Division III playoffs for the first time in program history. So the Wolverines going on the road to Susquehanna University out in Selinsgrove in central Pennsylvania coming up on Saturday. So yeah, it certainly has been an historic fall for the Wolverines, who of course have been building towards this the last really 5-6 years, and are now outright conference champs, 10-0, and ranked in both top 25. So certainly a lot, and then looking to not only play that first playoff game, but get that first playoff win against a very, very strong Susquehanna team.
And for those that may not know, there is a lot of things that are different once you get to the postseason, including number of players that can be on the roster, number in the traveling party. I'm sure there's a lot of, not only for you but for the coaching staff, things to take care of outside of preparing for the football game.
Yeah, for the standpoint, like once the coin toss goes, it's more or less it's a football game. It's a college football game. But leading up to it, there's a lot more in terms of credentialing, paperwork for broadcasting. That you mentioned for the coaches. One of the toughest thing for them is picking the roster. Normally at a home game, everybody dresses, and even on the road games, they could take 85, 90 guys plus to those, and everybody dresses. Well, in this case, and at all NCAA Division III playoff games, the limit is 58. So you have to it's much like an NFL team when it comes to cut down day in terms of who they keep and so forth. You keep an extra lineman or an extra wide receiver, defensive back, so forth. Just think a lot of decisions like that. And I'm sure probably guys that are numbers, say, 54 through 66, not a whole lot separating them. And, I know that's the one downside of this, is having to, for the coaches, is having to make those decisions and having to have some tough conversations with guys, because and there'll be a few guys that have gotten on the field here and there that won't be dressed on Saturday, but that's how it is, and that's one of the things in place. It's an NCAA thing. People are wondering, well, why do they have it in place? And also, when you watch the bowl games come December and January, those aren't in place because those are outside of the purview of the NCAA. It really comes down to Title IX equity, number of athletes having access to NCAA championship participation.
It is interesting. I've done some research on the Riverhawks a little bit. I even found some film online to watch over the last couple of days. But this is a good football program. This is a team that's done a lot of winning. Of course, they went undefeated in a new conference. And I looked up and down that conference, and it seemed like they kind of really were in control of that. No other team besides them had a winning overall record. But, it's one of those where this is a team that's, been there and done that before.
Certainly, last year, Susquehanna won the Centennial Conference. They were an associate member of that conference, which is primarily central and eastern Pennsylvania. I'm sure, a lot of listeners have heard of Gettysburg, Dickinson, of course, Johns Hopkins is in that league. Centennial's a very strong football league, but the Susquehanna's primary conference for its other sports, basketball, soccer, etc., the Landmark Conference, had football for the first time. They've added some members in recent years, and so this was the first year of Landmark Conference football. And as you said, Mark, that they went through, really ran roughshod to get to 10-0 and winning the league. And as you said, nobody else in the league finished at 500 or above. But that being said, Susquehanna played a very rugged non-conference schedule early on. The first 4 weeks at Bridgewater down in Virginia, they're always a power. They went 7-3. They defeated Brockport State, who's always double tough. 6-5 was the final score in that game. The next week, they went up to Cortland State, who's also in the NCAA playoff and could be a second-round opponent of the Grove City Susquehanna winner. And the Riverhawks won by 5. They defeated Western New England, who I think was 7-3 or 8-2 by a touchdown in week 4. So they certainly, played a very tough non-conference schedule. And then they took care of business in league play. There were teams that they were frankly better than, and they showed that over the course of 4 quarters and over the course of 6 league games.
And when you look at things too, and you and I talked about this on the selection show Western Reserve Radio did on Sunday, an opportunity for some coaches and some players to head back close to home on Saturday.
Certainly. I think that we were hoping to have a home game, at 10-0, thinking that was a possibility, and it was, but it didn't materialize. But I think the next best thing really is a road trip here to Susquehanna for a number of reasons. Number one, hey, you're going on the road now, so it's special. You go out there Friday night, go through everything, and go play Saturday at 12. So I think there are certainly benefits to that. It's not a quote hard road trip. It's about 200 miles east on Interstate 80. Compared to some of the trips of the teams are making 400, 450 miles and so forth. So you have that, but as you said, there are a number of players, coaches from Central Pennsylvania, State College, Altoona, Harrisburg, et cetera, kind of that middle third.
Thank you for your time as always.
Thank you, Mark, and thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
It's all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to clevelandcobrasfootball.com, Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Hey, football fans, don't miss the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey at the Cavelli Center in downtown Youngstown. The Phantoms are preparing for the upcoming season as they take to the ice to defend their Clark Cup championship. With over a dozen highly touted prospects on this year's roster, the road to the NHL clearly runs through Youngstown. Purchase season tickets, group tickets, and individual game tickets now by calling 330-747-PUCK. That's 330-747-7825, or go to youngstownphantoms.com. Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532. We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
Halftime continues here in Twinsburg. The Perry Pirates with a 32-0 lead over the South Range Raiders. Perry would get the scoring going, and it would be all Perry after that. 7:59 of the first quarter. It would be a 47-yard touchdown pass from Walter Moses to Braden Richards. And just minutes later at 3:42, Perry would get into the end zone on a Walter Moses run, a 1-yard run, to make the score 12-0 in favor of the Pirates. Second quarter action. Perry on with another 1-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversions on all three of those scores, no good. And with 7 minutes left in the second quarter, Perry on a 79-yard touchdown, half back pass, Coach. I mean, you're up all that, and then you pulled that one out. You're going for broke. You're going to make sure you're well ahead here. And it would be 79-yard touchdown pass on the half back pass for Perry. And then with 18 seconds left, it would be Jaden Studio on a 48-yard run there, South Range, maybe relaxing a little bit, thinking they're going into halftime. But Studio said, nope, I'm going to put up one more. And that's where we get our 32-0 score here. It has been all Perry Pirates. Now, of course, you just heard our interview here, our own Mark Means, with the Professor Ryan Briggs, the Sports Information Director at Grove City. And again, we are very happy for them as they head down to take on the Susquehanna Redhawks in the NCAA Division III playoffs. 2 10-0 teams there going, Coach. And Ryan Briggs mentioned it. We thought this was going to be a home game. You're 10-0, you're the conference champions, but you end up on the road going for I believe it's between 2.5, 3 hour drive. And it's kind of funny that the NCAA rules are a little different in terms of travel, but it's a little bit disappointing, I would think, after a 10-0 season.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I know Mark and I talked about that, and I can't figure that out for the life of me. It is, again, I don't make the rules up. I just have to follow them. That's crazy.
So the Riverhawks and the Wolverines to go at it tomorrow, 11:20 pregame, right here on Western Reserve Radio, engineered by our own Dave Ferris. And, of course, our own Mark Means and the Professor Ryan Briggs will bring you all the action here on Western Reserve Radio. Again, I want to thank you for joining us here tonight on Sports Radio 1240 WBBW. I want to thank everybody at Cumulus again for trusting us with their airwaves this year during high school football. We've had a little bit, maybe too much fun, Coach. I don't know, but I would do it all over again.
Yeah.
As
we are next year.
We bring you this Division 5 Region 17 game, and right now, Coach, it's looking a little bleak for the South Range Raiders.
Yeah, it looks like the Mahoning Valley teams might be taking it some of us under the chin this year in the playoffs, but we still got a second half of football. This will be a tough battle to come back from, but you never know. But Struthers is only 14 down, and hopefully they can hold their own. And I think Urson's going to have a good shot at it.
Yep, Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update at the half. All 3 games now, with Canton South leading Struthers by a score of 21-0. Chardon over Ursuline by a score of 14-7, and Perry, of course, here leads South Range by a score of 32-0. Also coming up tomorrow night, and we want to thank the Chicago Steel, the Youngstown Phantoms will be on the air here tomorrow evening as they will take on the Chicago Steel in a 2-game series Saturday and Sunday night. Audio provided courtesy of the Steel. Mark Citron bringing you all the action from the Windy City, and the Phantoms with an outstanding first month and a half, 2 months here in the regular season. And we were there for the championship run there, Coach. We're looking for another one. I tell you, that kind of atmosphere, 6,000 people at the Cavelli Center, it makes you greedy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we had a good time that night. It was very, very exciting. Back in the day, watching the 1980 hockey team win it all against the Russians, watched that game live. I was a slight young man back then.
Yeah, me too.
And you were even born. I don't even know.
Yes, I was born.
But the point I was making, and my girl Carol was sitting next to me, when the gloves went flying and the sticks went flying, it took me, because I remembered that when they did that for that 1980 hockey gold medal, when they ended up, of course, they had to play one more. But I'll tell you what, it gave you such a feeling of these kids worked their rear ends off and they played hard. In that game, it was just an unbelievable smash mouth game, which we all enjoyed. And now we hung the banner, so it was a magnificent time.
Yeah, certainly come down to the Cavelli Center. Great tickets still available for games this season. Give Kelsey and the staff a call down there at the Cavelli Center, 330-747-PUCK, 747-7825, or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
And you know what, Jim? It's a cheap night. You go anywhere and you go have dinner or something, you're going to spend anywhere from $40 to $60, $70. You could go down there on a certain night. It might be a cheaper night that they're offering, and have a good time and see a great hockey game and maybe see a little bit of a little bit of fisticuffs, and that keeps it going a little bit.
They're known to get a little tenacious.
A little touchy, that's all.
Yeah, certainly there. So the best players in the world right here in Youngstown as we get ready for a second half kickoff here. Perry with a 32-0 lead over the South Range Raiders. The Raiders 12-1 coming into tonight. Perry, a perfect 13-0. Scores from around the area on the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. Everything still reported at the half as Canton South leads Struthers by a score of 21-7. Chardon with a 14-7 lead over Ursuline. And in Pennsylvania, Hickory still with the 7-6 lead over Sharon. That one a close one in the PIAA playoffs.
And in our booth next to us, we have two great Ohio officials that are sitting next to us doing their job and making sure that everything is good here and everybody calls it right. And now they're looking around saying, who, us?
This was what used to make me nervous on the field when you get the evaluations, and you're thinking, did I miss something? Did I do something horrible? Did I cost the game? But I had a good crew as an official, and I can't complain. So thanks to Gary Weary and Bobby. And
here we go, Jim.
There. And Lopez to kick off here for Perry. This one will be picked up at the 6-yard line, brought out to the 10, 15, 20, and down to the 21-yard line. That return by number 10, Logan Butcher. And the Raiders now with the ball for the first time here in the second half. They deferred in the first half, so they'll get an opportunity to get downfield, Coach, and it's probably very important this time to establish a rhythm and get some points on the board. That could really create some momentum.
Yeah, they've got to do something. They got to get a nice, long, sustained drive, and they got to try to do it under ball control.
Toy in the shotgun, twin receivers to the far side. Going to hand it off up the middle, stale with the run game. It's going to be Toy that's going to keep it, try to get to the outside, and he'll get past the 25-yard line. They'll give him the 26. So a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for South Range.
Yeah, I mean, he ran out of real estate. He had a nice edge on the corner, but then he just ran out. So, but, that's good. We'll take 3-4 yards on first down. We'll take that all day.
So 2nd and 5 now, they'll call it. Toy in the shotgun. Twin receivers on the far side, one single receiver to the near side, one running back to the left. The South Range quarterback, the junior. They'll give it to Dominguez. Dominguez looking for room off the right side. He'll cut back inside and be brought down. May have picked up a half a yard on the play at best. They'll now bring up 3rd down for the Raiders.
Looked like Bradier ended up with that one.
10:43 left here in this third quarter. Perry with a 32-0 lead over South Range. Twin receivers to the near side now, one single receiver to the far side. Toy in the shotgun. They'll go wing left. And Toy will set and fire down the sideline. Got a man open down there. And is it going to be caught? Indeed, caught at the 36-yard line. A huge gain for Springfield. And I believe that was going to be Crumbucker on the reception. The biggest play of the night so far for South Range.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jim, but they really needed that big time. Absolutely. Crumbucker did a great job. Good throw by Troy. Hey, that Toy, now they're getting them moving.
Right back to the line. Twin receivers to the near side now. They'll give it to Dominguez. He'll fight his way forward past the 35, inside the 35, and down to the 33-yard line. So big play for South Range. They're now 2nd and 5 on the Perry side of the field.
Yeah, Andrew Smith made that tackle, Jim, and I'll tell you what, he didn't get him by the ankles. He might have been running a little bit more.
Ball at the 33-yard line. Toy now with twin receivers. That'll be Nagy and Crumbucker. Toy with the handoff to Dominguez out to the right side. He'll fight his way forward past the 30. And we'll see if they'll get in the forward progress. They'll mark him right at the 30-yard line. Pickup of 3. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 3 for South Range.
Yeah, he was brought down by Owen McCoon. And I'll tell you what, I like the way he ran. He was going outside, and he got them to flow outside, then he planted his foot and then came a little bit back inside and was able to get some more yardage. They have got to get a first down, keep this drive going.
Just under 9 minutes left here in this third quarter. Toy now again in the shotgun. Twin receivers to the near side. They'll go wing left. He'll set his feet, fire out to Crumbucker. He'll get past the 30, down past the 25, inside the 25, and down to the 23-yard line. That's enough for a South Range first down.
And that was a great job. They got the ball out and got it going pretty quick. And LaMonica, if I'm reading that properly.
Yep, that's going to be Dom Lamacchia.
Lamacchia, okay.
All right. So 8:29 left here on a running clock. 1st and 10 now for South Range. Ball at the Perry 23-yard line. So Toy in a shotgun, one running back to his right. They'll give it to Dominguez. Dominguez trying to find some room to run forward past the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. May have given him the 17 on that. And South Range, again, with their best drive of the night.
And that was a great job. Again, what he's doing is he's getting them to come outside, and then he's planting his foot and come back in. So that's a great job by Dominguez. He's doing a great job on that.
So Nagy will be the slot receiver to the left. They'll send Dominguez in motion. Toy will take it off the right side, away from the motion, and may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down. They're actually saying he's going to pick up about a half a yard on the play. So 3rd and about 4 now for South Range.
Yeah, Studio was on that one all day. He was able to come down on that and then was able to make the tackle. Now, they got to keep this drive alive. They got to get down there. They haven't taken a lot of time off. They've got to get a first down. This has got to be 2-down territory for them.
So Combs will be the receiver to the far side. Toy in the shotgun. They'll go trips left, tight. Handoff to the left side. It'll be Dominguez past the 15, inside the 15, and down to the 11-yard line. That'll be enough for another South Range first down. 7:04 left here, 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Studio was following him the whole way, but Meningas stayed just a little bit out of his reach, and then when he made that cut, he was able to bring him down. That's a great run. Now, I'll tell you what, they're getting it together. South Range is running right at him, and they're putting Perry on the heels.
Aiden Dominguez, the junior, or South Range, twin receivers to the near side. That'll be Combs and Nagy. Nagy will go in motion, left to right. They'll give it to Nagy on the jet motion, and he'll be brought down in the backfield. Armani Chapone, the 5'10", 175-pound junior, got in his back pocket and brought him down.
Well, I'll tell you what, he shot out of a cannon, was able to run that down. We got to keep getting positive yards on that. I really don't know if you can get outside on this team. They really pursue good, and they're fast. So it seems that we're getting better action running straight at them instead of trying to run around them.
So 2nd and 11 for South Range. All on the 13-yard line. Toy in the shotgun. Twin receivers to the near side. They'll send Starkey in motion from right to left. Toy rolling out to the left side. He'll tuck it himself, try to find room to run. He's going to be brought down in the backfield. Nowhere to go. That hole closed quickly, and that's going to be Trent Taylor, the 6'4", 200-pound sophomore on the tackle.
I tell you what, Jim, though, he needed to look left and go right because there was no hanger to the right. And if we could have stepped outside and hooked that end, I think he would have got some major yards on there. He chose to run the play to the left. He needed to go right.
3rd and 15 now. They can still get a first down all the way down at the 2-yard line. But Toy now in the shotgun. Twin receivers to each side. 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, looking for somebody. Gonna have to tuck it himself, pick up past the 20, and be knocked out of bounds. Unceremoniously sent out by McCoy Richards, the 5'10", 155-pound sophomore.
I'll tell you what, Perry, they've, as we always say, bend but don't break. And right now, they've got off of what they've been doing, trying to throw the ball, and he should have stayed with that run game because we were chunking him. Looks like we're going to be getting a field goal, Jim.
It will be 4th and 20 for South Range. Ball actually marked at the 20-yard line now. I don't know if they made if that should be at the 21, but nonetheless, South Range with a 38-yard field goal attempt. That's going to be Logan Butcher for the kick. Snap is back. Kick is up, and it's going to be way short. And we have a flag on the play. We might have a roughing the kicker call coming up. And we'll see if it's going to be
running. Looked like it was running into the kicker.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. Okay, so
thank you.
Get the fourth down over again. However, that's not going to really help South Range. Now it'll be 4th and 15.
Oh.
Thank you to Dom Sabo from the OHSAA, one of our official observers here up in the press box.
Yeah, from our area.
Certainly.
These guys doing a great job. They made sure that we knew what we were talking about. Either that or they're going to throw a penalty flag on us.
It would be the first one thrown on you, would it?
Oh, stop.
Ball going to be placed now at the 15-yard line. So 4th and 13 now. 4th and 14, excuse me. His Toy is going to step back in the pocket. Plants his feet, fires out into the far corner, and it's going to be picked off by Perry. And they're going to bring it out of the end zone, out to the 5. And out near the 8-yard line, I don't know if I would have done that, but when you're up 32-0, I don't know if there's a real bad mistake anywhere.
I think he saw something going down the sidelines, and that got closed up quick. He should have probably sat down. Yeah. As these guys said, if he would have got that, it would have been a 109-yard touchdown return on a pick.
His eyes got real big there. For Perry, but nonetheless.
Absolutely.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Perry at the 8-yard line. They're up 32-0, 3:18 left here, third quarter. In this Division 5 Region 17 playoff game. As Moses now in the shotgun, twin receivers to the near side. He'll give it to Studio. Studio will work off the right side. He'll pick up a few yards. And if you were interested in this game, you'll obviously be interested in the Region 19 game as Canal Winchester Harvest Prep is taking on Wheelersburg at Joe Burrow Stadium in Athens.
Tristan Toy was on that tackle.
So 2:44 on a rolling clock here. 32-0. South Range not going to be able to stop this clock as long as they have this 30-point deficit. So 2nd and 8 for Perry. Moses in the shotgun. Studio back there with him. Twin receivers to the near side. Moses back to pass under pressure. Rolls out to the near sideline. Fires over the middle across his body, and it'll go into the sideline. Was a receiver in the area, so there's going to be no chance of intentional grounding there. He had Andrew Morris, a freshman, in the area.
And he was running for his life because Gus Valentine, he was right on his hip pocket. He was right after him. I'll tell you what, Gus did a good job trying to run him down.
Running clock here continues here, Coach. Third quarter, and only 1:52 left.
Yeah, this is with this running clock, it really makes it tough.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. Moses in the shotgun, trip receivers to the near side. Toy on the blitz. And he's going to over pursue it. Studio cutting back and forth. And he's going to get out to the 20 with a stiff arm. 30, 40, midfield. One man to beat. And he's going to be brought down at the 27-yard line. And a big gain for Perry.
I'll tell you what, Jim, he hit that hole like a train. Again, it was something, it looks like a counter us. It started this way. He plants his foot. He goes back. Quarterback drops the ball. He got around that left side, and he was off to the races. But again, 3 or 4 tackles that we're not wrapping up, and we're trying to arm tackle these guys. They're big and strong and fast. You got to get, and you got to wrap them shoulder pads in.
I believe that's going to be a 66-yard gain for Jaden Studio. Again, we talked about that initial contact. And it's been the yards after contact for Perry that's been big. 37 seconds left. Moses on the handoff. Contact made in the backfield. That's going to be Darren Howard, the 5'6", 186-pound junior, taken down in the backfield.
Yes, and that was he was brought down by Mr. Meninguez. Apparently he blitzed a little bit, and he was off. He was in there, ready to stick his nose in there.
So the last 15 seconds of the third quarter will tick down. So we will step aside for a break. You are listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Accidents
happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
Fourth quarter here as the clock will begin to run. 32-0 is the Perry Pirate lead over the South Range Raiders. Moses in the shotgun now. And it'll be handoff off the left side, past the 30, out to the 25, and down to the 24-yard line. Howard on the run. And as always, this fourth quarter is brought to you by Lena's Pierogi House in Hubbard. Your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Visit Lena's Pierogi House on Facebook to see the weekly lineup of available flavors. For dine-in or carry-out, call 234-254-8532. And while I was in studio last week there, Coach, it was pierogies and halushki.
What happened to the paprikash?
Yeah, that's
the chicken paprikash. The guys over next to us.
Moses now in the shotgun. Ball to 25-yard line, 3rd and 8. They'll give it to Howard. Howard off the right side, tries to cut back up, get past the 25, inside the 25 to the 23, and he'll be knocked back into the backfield, but he'll get credit for the forward progress. Dylan Smesko on the tackle for South Range.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he was shot out of a cannon. He took him down, but that's what we should have been doing the whole game. Nice shoulder tackle, put us down, kept his momentum going, hit, lift, and drive.
So the clock will continue to run here. 10:40 left in the season. And a Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. Coach Chardon with a 17-14 lead over the Ursuline Irish. That one close. Irish fighting back after being in a deficit. And also on the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update, Canton South 32, Struthers 13.
Wow.
As the Perry Pirates will take a timeout, so we'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532. We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
10-17 left here, fourth quarter. Perry with a 32-0 lead over the South Range Raiders. Moses now in the backfield. Howard to his left, twin receivers to both sides. So fourth down for Perry. As Moses will take his time, check with the sideline. So 4th and 6 for the Pirates. Moses fires out to the flats, and it's going to be knocked away by Aiden Dominguez. And it's going to be a turnover on down. South Range will get the ball with 10:05 left here. Clock is stopped right now for the change of possession, but much beyond that, it's going to be tough to kind of get anything done with this.
I'll tell you what, Jim, if that ball would have been just about a foot lower, that would have been a nice 65, 70-yard run by Menendez, but he at least knocked it down. Boy, he timed that perfect. If he could have got both hands in there, he had had a clear shot.
10 minutes even left here, fourth quarter. As Toy now will have twin receivers to the near side, wing to the right. They'll send Dominguez in motion. It'll be a handoff. Dominguez trying to take it up the field to pick up a couple yards maybe on the play. Bring up 2nd and 8 for South Range. And the clock will continue to run with 9:42.
Yeah, it's battle against the clock now. They got to score quick, but, I mean, that many scores down, it's going to be hard for them to come back. But, you know, they're playing hard. They're not giving up. They're doing what they have to do.
So 2nd and 8 from the 24-yard line. Toy. They send Dominguez in motion from left to right. He'll set up as the right wing. Hand off to play action to Ewer. Ball going to be thrown downfield, looking for Nagy, and it's going to be thrown short. as he was just passing midfield, didn't even look back, and it looked maybe like the wind caught up that one up a little bit. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the South Range Raiders.
Yeah, he threw it to the outside towards the boundary, and he never turned his head at all. He thought that was going inside, so it fell harmlessly to the sidelines.
So clock continuing to run here, 8:47. South Range trailing Perry by a score of 32-0. Toy now into shotgun, twin receivers to each side. 3-step drop, going to plant his feet, look downfield, fires out to the left side, and tried to hit Dominguez down the sideline. He's going to overthrow. It's going to go into the Raiders sideline. That'll bring up 4th down, but the clock again continuing to run, and you're just about 8 minutes away from this one coming to an end. It looks like Perry is going to move on. They will play the winner of the Canal Winchester Harvest Prep and Wheelersburg game. Canal Winchester 11-1, Wheelersburg 9-3. That game being played at Joe Burrow Stadium in Athens, named after, of course, Bengals quarterback
who is out for the season.
I just heard that news
yes,
here.
He's out for the season. He tore a ligament in his thumb or his hand.
South Range will punt this one away. No attempt on a return as the ball will go out of bounds. Oh, actually, it's going to kick back here on that oblong, weird-shaped ball. And it'll make its way down to the 26-yard line as South Range tries to give it a little bit of wind to make it go further. But over in the AFC North there, Coach, got 2 starting quarterbacks out in 1 week. Deshaun Watson out with a shoulder surgery. And Joe Burrow, I guess, out with...
Yeah, they said something about a ligament in either his hand or his wrist. So I just got it, and they said he's out for the season.
Either way, that's bad.
Well, we're losing all of our quarterbacks in our division.
Every team in the AFC North with a winning record, I believe.
Yes.
So, 1st and 10 now for Perry. Ball marked at the 26-yard line. 7:26 left here in this game. And trip receivers to the near side. 1 single receiver to the far side. Perry moving right to left. I'll hand it off to Howard. Howard trying to get to the outside. And he'll get down to the 28-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 2 for Perry. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Pirates.
Yeah, it's just the defense was there. It's just, young man was moving his feet, and he did what he needed to do. So
6:50 on a running clock. As McCoy Richards will bring the play in from the sideline. 5'10", 155-pound sophomore. So 2nd and 7 for the Pirates. Twin receivers to each side. They'll send a man in motion from right to left. Handoff on the jet motion. Cut back out to the 34-yard line. And the game now for Perry is McCoy Richards. He will finish this out. As Walter Moses will take the rest of the game off.
And Nagy was there, taking 11 down, so it was a good tackle. Well, let's hold him here, make him punt, maybe get the ball back and get some points here.
Just under 6 minutes left here in this Division 5 Region 17 playoff game. Perry with a 32-0 lead over South Range. McCoy Richards in for the Perry Pirates. Just a sophomore. Trip receivers to the far side now. He'll give it to Howard. Howard will move his way forward past the 40 and down to the 41-yard line. That'll be enough for a Perry 1st down with just about 5.5 minutes left in this game. And with a continuous clock, Coach, it's pretty much all academic at this point.
Yep. Nagy was on the tackle. He was the initial contact that started bringing him down, and then they scraped up.
5:10 left here in this game. I want to remind you, coming up tomorrow, the Grove City Wolverines will be in the NCAA Division III playoffs for the first time. A lot of excitement over there at Grove City as we'll have trip receivers to the far side. Richards in a shotgun. 1 single receiver to the near side. That'll be Howard to his left. He'll give it to Howard. Howard will cut up past the 40. Past midfield into South Range territory and down to the 41-yard line. 4:39 left here in this game.
Yeah, he's literally dragging people now. I mean, it's just it's a little tough. And you know what? I see a lot of young guys. A lot of these young guys are all excited. They came out, and these starters have had it.
And getting the experience of playing in a playoff game late in the season here.
And we saw that with Springfield Tigers for years, how he would always put as many as his guys as he can when he knew that it was starting to blow out.
So trip receivers to the near side now. 1st and 10 for Perry at the South Range 40-yard line. Richard with the handoff. It'll be Howard again. He'll get to the 40. Not much more than that. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Perry. 3:50 left here in the season for the South Range Raiders. All things being as they are, the Raiders will finish the season at 12-2 with an outstanding year under first-year head coach David Rock.
Yeah, well, we see a lot of the young guys are in now. They're just, they're letting them to get a taste of a playoff.
I believe this is what Mark Means would call roster time.
Yeah, and it's, you know what, this is good. At least they can say, hey, we're in a playoff game and we did what we had to do.
Justin Costello will be the receiver to the far side now. Some man in motion, left to right. Handoff on the jet motion. Try to get upfield, nowhere to go. And that'll be Anthony Trentinelli on the run, the 5'4", 119-pound freshman. And Trentinelli, I don't know if he wants to drop his shoulder on that being 119 pounds, but normally, Coach, we inflate the heights and weights.
Yeah, and Luke Garrick hit him at 225, so there was a little mismatch there.
So, yeah, Luke Gehring, the senior, rounding out his high school career as Richards makes his way into the game. Welcome to varsity football, young man.
Absolutely. Let me introduce myself.
2.5 minutes left here in this Division 5 Region 17 game. Trip receivers to the near side. Richards fires out to the right side, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass was intended for Costello. That'll bring up 4th down for Perry. Call it 4th and 14. Ball at the South Range 44-yard line. Just about 2 minutes left here in this game. And the Perry Pirates will move on next week to take on the winner of Canal Winchester Harvest Prep and Wheelersburg. Canal Winchester 11-1, Wheelersburg 9-3.
Do we have any updates on any scores, Jim?
Well, we're hoping that things are going to turn around for a few teams here.
Yeah, because we're getting iced right now.
It's getting a little thinner here over in the Moaning Valley, folks. Richards now in the shotgun. Handoff up the middle. And nowhere to go for the Pirates. That'll be a turnover on down. South Range will get the ball at the Raiders 40 or 45-yard line.
Now, we need to explain to the listeners, we do we do a lot of the Springfield Tiger games. Well, we follow them all the year.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, so we mean it. We want to say South Range, but it comes out Springfield, and we do apologize. It's not disrespect. It's just when you're with the team for 10 weeks and you're announcing them, sometimes it's a slip of the tongue.
Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. Canton South 35, Struthers 13. Chardon and Ursuline in a close one. Chardon with a 17-14 lead over the Irish. And of course, this quarter is brought to you by Lena's Pierogi House in Hubbard. Your home for the best variety of pierogies. Visit Lena's Pierogi House on Facebook to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Call 254-254-8532. And that's not just an ad, Coach. We've been there.
Oh,
and we get orders to go, and we eat in. And
I tell you what, she's again a wonderful person. They have a great staff. When they were in Struthers, and of course I had Glass Block then, and the propane, which I have now, we would go and support the any restaurants there on Youngstown Pole Road, and I will tell you, she did an amazing job.
So delay a game penalty coming up against South Range. I'll move it back 5 yards. Clock still running with 45 seconds left here. Also on the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update, Youngstown State with a 75-68 win in the NCAA men's basketball. And I believe they're going to let the last 30 seconds tick off the clock here as the Perry Pirates will get the shutout over the South Range Raiders by a score up 32-0.
That's a class act by Coach, too. He knew he couldn't do anything. No sense in getting anybody hurt. And, gentlemen, God bless you guys. All righty, man. Thank you.
And the last 10 seconds to tick off here in Twinsburg. The South Range Raiders season will come to an end. Perry gets the 32-0 win over the Raiders. And we want to congratulate Coach Dave Rock and the South Range Raiders on a phenomenal season. They will finish out 12-2. Perry will improve to 14-0, and they will move on next week to play the winner in Region 19 between Canal Winchester Harvest Prep and Wheelersburg. We're going to step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you the scoring recap, talk a little bit more about that outstanding playoff game coming up tomorrow here on Western Reserve Radio. All that and much more. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and Sports Radio 1240. We're back after this.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leagues. For more information, call 330-740-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
We now return you to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240.
Post-game show here in Twinsburg, home of the Tigers, but tonight it was the host of the Division 5 Region 17 playoff game, Perry, with the 32-0 win over the South Range Raiders. Scoring went like this. It started in the first quarter with Perry going 47 yards through the air from Walter Moses to Braden Richards to get the Pirates on the board. They would not convert on the two-point conversion. It would be 6-0 Perry. 3:42 of the first quarter. Moses would get into the end zone on a 1-yard touchdown run, putting the Perry Pirates up by a score of 12-0. They again would not convert on the two-point conversion. Second quarter action here, 9:23. Perry would get into the end zone on another 1-yard run. The two-point conversion, no good. And with 7 minutes left in the second quarter, Perry on a halfback pass. It would be Luke Savon going 79 yards for the Pirates. And with 18 seconds left in the first half, Perry would add another 6 when Jaden Studio would go 48 yards on the Pirates' run. And the score would be 32-0 at half, and that's where it would end here after a running clock in the second half. Again, South Range will finish with a 12-2 record for the 2023 season. The Perry Pirates improved to 14-0, and they will move on to play the winner of Canal Winchester Harvest Prep and Wheelersburg. Take a look at scores from around the area. One last time here on the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. As it looks like Chardon, according to Ryan Bonacci, who was at the game, was reporting for us, looks like Chardon has a 24-14 lead over the Ursuline Irish. And, Coach, we are in danger of going 0-3 tonight.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You got to play some tough teams, and maybe it just wasn't our year. When it comes down, you play the best of the best in the playoffs, Jim, and that's just how it goes. Again, I think this Perry team, just looking at it, again, not judging anybody else, but I believe that could be your next state championship team because they are that good.
Yeah, we've seen a couple teams like that in Division 7.
Yeah.
We saw Danville, who we were very impressed by. And then, of course, seeing the Perry Pirates tonight. Actually, a stadium that we knew well because the Cleveland Cobras played there for a couple of seasons, and a beautiful facility up there. You can't say much more about that.
Yeah, that Danville team they're the real deal too. So I'm looking at them possibly making a run and doing what they got to do with a state championship. They are an amazing football team.
Yeah, in Division 7, I would say the thing that really stood out was the power.
Yes, power and speed.
Yes, and even just the stiff arms from the running backs. And the linebacker play was absolutely impressive.
Absolutely.
But certainly the Perry Pirates have all the tools and elements needed to win a Division 5 state championship. South Range Raiders will not defend their title this year. But, again, nothing to be ashamed of there. No. They've had a changeover in coaching staff. Seniors that have graduated, they're going to have a lot coming back next year here.
So
I have a funny feeling we're going to be right back in the same position
That'd be
come
nice.
November of 2024.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice. We like to represent our teams around here and do what we got to do. We are so honored to be able to broadcast on our stations and 1240 and City View, and we have a good time. We hope that everybody
Maybe
enjoys it.
too good of a time.
That's okay.
It's not legal in some states, I'll tell you. But I want to take an opportunity to thank a lot of folks here that make this possible, including all of our sponsors. We talk about Jerry Sandrock and Sandrock Concrete. They have been on board for the last 3 years, and you can't ask for a better guy. They're not just a better sponsor, but a better friend and a better supporter. And for all your concrete needs, please call Jerry Sandrock at 330-506-0013. Jesse Caldwell and the Cleveland Cobras football team, their season, they're starting to work on that now. They will be back on the field in May. They will compete for a Tri-Point Football League championship. And Jesse Caldwell has always been one of our biggest supporters, and we certainly enjoy following them during the spring and summer season. Austin Maludik from Maludik Live, I'll tell you, this is his second or third year with us as well, and he's a little bit everywhere here. So make sure you go to Maludik_live and check out all the information as he covers all the high schools in our region. Repair That Glass, one of our favorite commercials there. I think Dave loves that one. He likes to hear glass break. And they offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Call 330-534-3192. And Lena's Pierogi House. We joke every week about how good the food is and how tired
But it is not a joke. It's very good.
That's not just a sponsor. We go there, we order.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Ferris picks it up, brings it to the studio. I mean, this is a legit love affair with this menu. So, and then of course, we want to thank the Youngstown Phantoms. And our relationship with them is outstanding. We have such a good time. They're going to be in Chicago on Saturday and Sunday, as you can listen to those games here, courtesy of the Chicago Steel. Listen to Mark Citron bring you all of the action. We can't go off the air without thanking Cumulus Media, including Bill Kelly, Charlie Connolly, Ben Slagle, and everybody over there that makes this possible, because I'll tell you, they trust us with their airwaves. That's not something we take very lightly over here.
No, and it's scary.
Yeah, from time
you missed a sponsor. You missed one. Kessler Propane.
Okay, you gonna let me get to the end, or you're just gonna okay? I think Bob I don't know. Bob, we're done almost. A little worried. But of course, I want to thank Dave Ferris and my brother Mac Raven back in the Kessler Propane studio. They put up with us every week. Brandon Fisher over on City View Sportscast helping out Matt Emsch and Matt Lipsack as we have high school football for the first time on City View Sportscast.
Yes.
So certainly we do appreciate all that they do. And I always joke, if you can pick up a Dave, if you can get a Dave, get a Dave.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get it on Amazon. I don't know if you can get it on MacBid, whatever. But get a Dave Ferris.
Yeah. He's
And
very good at what he does.
Matt Craven is helping us out, not only on the board, but doing some work, around the studio, making things really nice. And we certainly are. But now that I'm going to get to the good part, because you can't seem to wait. Thank you to my partner,
I appreciate
the coach,
that.
Bob Gessler. Not only he's my broadcast partner, he is my friend.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
he's a good man. And I'll tell you right now that I don't know if there's many people who know much more about football in the area after having coached in the area for 40 years. Pretty much you've coached about 7 generations of people.
That's true. That's true.
We all love to hear you name drop a little bit.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Certainly everybody at the iMedia One Network here.
Sure.
We've built this over the last 7 or 8 years, and boy, this has been a lot of fun. I can't say enough, and hopefully we will be back next year, new and improved even. We always have something in our back pocket as we try to bring you the best presentation we can.
I will say this, first time you asked me to do it, and I'm like, what do you want me for? I don't know if I could do that. I don't know, what to say. And boy, the joke is I never shut up. But it is my pleasure, and I love the game of football. 45 years of all different levels, and to see these young kids come out here and perform, and not only that, to have Jim and the staff trust in me to go over the airwaves. Wow. It's my honor, and believe me, I don't look at this light. A lot of people hear us. Great compliment by Ron Burtis the other day on a podcast saying how wonderful it was for me to get a hold of him so Mark could go and interview him about his Hall of Fame for state of Ohio for coaching. And that means a lot to me. That does, to be able to recognize our area, our coaches, ex-players. It's a lot of fun. It is.
You can't ask for much more here on something that started in a basement somewhere.
Yes, we did. We broadcasted Cat on my lap.
Yep. R.I.P. there, guys. My little buddy and sissy there didn't, it got a little old, but they were there from the beginning.
They were.
Again, we can't say enough about everybody else. So with that will conclude the 2023 high school football coverage for Western Reserve Radio, the iMedia One Network. And please, by all means, join us tomorrow as the Grove City Wolverines will be in the Division III NCAA playoffs for the first time in the school history. 11:20 pregame, a 12 o'clock kickoff with our own Mark Means and the Professor Ryan Briggs bringing you all the action, and Dave Ferris pushing all the buttons.
Absolutely.
And keeping us on the air. So for the coach, Bob Gessler, for Dave Ferris, Matt Craven, back in the Gessler Propane Studio, I am Jim Craven. One last time here from Twinsburg, the Perry Pirates. They get the 32-0 win over the South Range Raiders. They move on in the Division V playoffs. We hope to see everybody here tomorrow, and certainly we look forward to the next high school football season. We hope you have an outstanding weekend.
Good night, everybody, and have a safe year.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com.